This is definitely the favorite place of anglers. There is no need to worry about the air force at all. As long as you swing the fishing rod down, there is no need to wait for the fish to bite up. The size is getting bigger one by one. Of course, there were also those who were not well prepared and were pulled to the brims. Overall, there is no big problem. How can one achieve freedom of fish meat in the wild? It can be achieved with a fishing rod in hand. No skills are needed at all. If you throw it down, there will be big fish to eat. The size is definitely to your satisfaction. It can be directly processed, cut into pieces, and roasted to eat. Even the fish tail is delicious. These contestants are striving to win the $1 million prize. Just being able to catch fish is not enough. Should one know how to plan food? Do you think it's a big piece of fish to eat for a whole day? That's really underestimating them. This small piece is the meal for the whole day. A fish can be cut into at least 9 pieces. If you work a little harder, there will be no problem eating it for half a month. Others go hungry 9 times in 3 days when they are in the wild. The man, however, began to enjoy himself. Fish is eaten as a snack every day. There is no seasoning at all on top. Conquer the taste buds with the inherent umami flavor of the ingredients. After all, no one can resist the deliciousness of fish. Surely someone will ask where this is. In fact, you just need to sign up to participate. The latest issue of the Danish version of Living Alone in the Wilderness. When you're lucky, you can even win the bonus, by the way. Only 7 contestants went to the Finnish wilderness for the challenge this time. As is known to all, there are many lakes here. Arrange for each contestant to have a lake for company. After all, it is relatively close to the Arctic Circle. They have to find a way to build a shelter and catch enough food to fill one's stomach. How will the weather change during this period? The program team couldn't figure it out either. I just wonder how strong the contestants of this session are. The contestant who persists the longest will win the $1 million prize. Who do you all think looks more like a champion? In order to prevent the contestants from wandering around randomly in the wild, the program team provides map directions to the destination. There will be small gifts given along the way. If they miss it, it will only be their bad luck. Jesse watched the program team leave. The mood was extremely excited. I wonder what will be encountered next. Hurry up and head to the destination. He himself is a survival expert. Often run to the wild in search of thrills. Will it also guide newcomers on how to survive in the wild? In the past, there were always professional tools and teams. Now one has to face the challenge alone. This is a bit more difficult. Anyway, do you want to have a look at the destination? As long as the first 3 days go smoothly, he is confident of staying here for a longer time. Take out the compass to determine the direction. Try to find a place before it gets dark and set up the shelter. It would be even better if the fire could be lit by the way. Find the raisins that look very much like feces at the beginning. If you're not sure whether it is edible in the wild, you can put it in your mouth first to have a taste. What if you say you eat feces? Then he spat it out quickly. In fact, it just looks disgusting. It won't cause any impact on the body. Let's take a look at how Zenny is doing first. On the surface, she doesn't seem very strong. In fact, Zenny is also a survival coach. How do you usually guide women on how to survive in the wild? Although women's physical fitness in the wild, it's indeed much worse than men. But as long as the skills are honed to the extreme, it's completely possible to enjoy delicious food and drink in the wild. Come here to take part in the challenge this time. It's all about winning the prize money. It can be said to be full of the desire for money. John thinks it doesn't matter whether he can get the bonus or not. He just wants to be on TV to increase his popularity. I am particularly good at making by hand. In order to be undisturbed in the wild, even by the entire forest. Good grief. No wonder I have no desire for bonuses. John quite likes the environment here. Zenny got lost at the beginning. It feels like nothing is right wherever you go. There's a serious suspicion that the map provided by the program team is wrong. Only the conspicuous marks on the map can be found now. Then find the correct direction and move forward. Bent was very excited. She can't wait to start the challenge. Such an environment is really suitable for retirement. Don't be fooled by Bennett's age. The physical fitness is top-notch, and they have very strong concentration and perseverance. Be able to focus on things for a long time. This challenge is like a vacation for her. I don't think there will be any difficulties at all. John was looking for gifts while on his way. I have no idea what the program team will offer. They should all be practical tools, right? Chris claims to be an elite bow and arrow hunter, often go hunting in the wild, have great confidence in one's own bow and arrow. One can learn quite a few useful survival skills when joining the Army. Exercise regularly in daily life. He thinks it won't be difficult for him to win the bonus. The only concern is that there will be no prey. Hope more big guys can come. The bow and arrow in his hand was extremely hungry and thirsty. The program team has taken quite good care of him. One can observe the surrounding situation from a high place right from the start. It's just that there are forests all around. It's the same as not having seen it at all. It really made people feel embarrassed. Zenny is still studying where he is going. There's a lake just ahead. Question, where have all those small gifts gone? Could it be that we missed each other on the way? It would be too bad to look back now. Jacob actually has no concept of challenges. I just feel very happy to be able to fish. Awakened the innate holy body for fishing from a young age. I feel uncomfortable all over if I don't fish for a day. He also knows quite a few fishing skills. As long as the fish schools haven't migrated away, I'm confident that I can eat and drink well here. Just wait for him to show his strength in front of the camera. Now we can collect some birch bark first. It will be more convenient to make a fire then. Anyway, this doesn't take up much space. I have been concerned about living alone in this wilderness for a long time. It's a great pleasure to be able to come and participate. He has no idea what gifts the program team has prepared either. It is certain that it will be helpful for the challenge. Ben has found the gift here. Let's take a look together at what's inside. Who would have thought that the program team would give barley flour? This can be transformed into food to fill the stomach. The program team, in order to make the contestants stay longer. Even the food has been prepared in advance. Of course, not everyone will care, but it's really a pity to miss the food. Jacob also found that gift here, although the portion inside is not very large, but it can also give him a hand when he is hungry. This challenge is getting more and more interesting. John gave up looking for gifts. I'm going to take down the tools directly. It's important to determine the location of the camp quickly. It has to be said that the preparations this time were quite thorough. John thinks he can stay for a long time this time. The program team wants the contestants to mainly focus on catching fish. The water level here is not high. Originally, those fish would hide under the reeds. But there is nothing here. At least wait for the water level to rise. One can't continue to waste time here. I'm going to have a look elsewhere by myself first. There's a serious suspicion that the wrong lake might have been found. How could the program team make such an arrangement? I'm afraid I offended the director at some point. My mood was quite low. Look, it's much better over there at Bennett. There should be no problem going fishing. I usually enjoy fishing quite a lot. Just didn't reach that lake in Finland. I wonder what the habits of the fish here are. Hope they will like to prepare the hooks. Bent is very satisfied with this lake. The fish in the water can be seen clearly. Just put a little more thought into it. She's convinced that she will surely be able to enjoy the whole fish feast. I just don't know where is a good place to camp. Jesse has also successfully found the equipment. With these, I'm confident that I can get food. The quality of the lake water next door is very good. There must be quite a few fish in it. I'm not greedy myself either. I would be satisfied if I could catch one fish every day. John never expected it to be so bad. There is no way to throw the fishing rod less than half a meter deep. It feels like I'm doomed to go hungry from the very beginning. He tried to pick up the fishing rod and throw it into the water. There was no hope at all originally. I didn't expect that fish would bite up so soon. It seems that John scolded too early. This lake doesn't look very good, but the fish are indeed big and long. Sure enough, one cannot judge things merely by their appearance. I'm glad I gave it a try. Otherwise, how would you know it's so rich here? Instantly, I felt confident that I could complete the challenge. Charlotte isn't worried about the food problem. The main concern is that it might be too cold at night and damage the body. This isn't her first time to come here. It is very clear how bad it is near the Arctic Circle. This time, facing the challenge alone, I was extremely anxious inside. The Wilderness Solo Challenge was almost the male champion. I want to speak out for the power of women. This process must be very difficult. It's important to take down the small gift first. If utilized well, it can last longer. According to the map, head to the lake. It's just that this stream is a bit strange. If I didn't take the wrong path myself, it's just that the program team described it as being lazy. John has been praising the program team for being nice. Find such a wonderful place. It's just that there are small raindrops falling now. See if the shelter can be set up first. Then try to fix the fire. The fish shouldn't go bad so quickly in this weather. It's less than an hour before it gets dark. John was extremely anxious. It is very important to calculate 72 hours before death in the wild, if one cannot ensure to stand firm. The challenges that followed were extremely difficult. Zenny is very confused here. Pick up the map and keep repeating this. It doesn't look like this place, no matter how you look at it. It's almost getting dark. If you really get lost here, accidents are very likely to occur. For safety reasons, you can only call the program team. Good grief. I got lost at the very beginning. If it were any other region, they would probably be eliminated directly, under the guidance of the staff. I shouldn't get lost again, will I? It was just that it was getting dark soon. There's really not much time left for her to keep going. Charlotte also got lost here and called the director. She felt that she wasn't going in the wrong direction. Ask if the map marking is incorrect. Good grief. We were able to find this pair of dragon and phoenix chicks. The production team must have put a lot of effort into it. Charlotte passed by the stream before. Obviously, it's just going the wrong direction. Under the guidance of the staff, Charlotte finally found the right direction. Hoped to arrive before dark. Chris finally came to this side of the camp. He has begun to look forward to the upcoming challenges. John made time to deal with the fish. The uneaten internal organs could be used as bait. There was meat to eat on the first day. It's already very satisfying to have a shelter for the night. If you want to live more comfortably, the shelter should be improved and upgraded as much as possible. It should at least be like a small wooden house. Jacob is still thinking about how to build a good shelter. Zenny was with the help of the staff. Finally, we arrived at the destination. I have no time to sigh about the environment here. Hurry up and set up the shelter. Be sure to fix the tarpaulin. Otherwise, it would be all over if it were blown away in the middle of the night. John already has an idea about the shelter. It is planned to prepare more wood for consolidation. Take advantage of being energetic in the previous few days. Doing more work is beneficial to the challenges later. I believe that everyone's strategies were more or less the same in the early stage. It depends on who can handle it better. Jacob would rather have no place to sleep tonight. More time should also be spent on fishing. Good grief. Has he come to the wrong place? One should go fishing for tuna next door. Such an unlucky guy like Chris. It was just caught on a branch. Charlotte finally arrived at the destination. So tired that she doesn't want to do anything. Lie down and have a rest for a while first. John has already started cooking the fish here. Just give him a piece of wood and a knife. Then the tools can be easily obtained. Fish was available to eat on the first day. It's much stronger than the previous contestants. Jacob devoted himself so hard to fishing, but there was no gain at all. My mood has dropped a lot. Zenny was even less in the mood to face the challenge. Call the staff for help on the first day. It's a bit embarrassing in front of the camera. Hope to adjust one's mood well. Strive to have an outstanding performance later. Hurry up and get a place to rest now. The challenge has reached its second day. Jesse slept very peacefully. The knife is right beside for self-defense. He is not afraid at all that something might happen in the middle of the night. Chris was making a fire right after he woke up. The problem is that all the materials on his side are too damp. It would be nice to see some sparks. Jesse knows that making a fire is not easy. Collect as much dry material as possible. Especially, birch bark has a high oil content. As long as these things are utilized reasonably, it is easy to make a fire, even in heavy rain. The reason why I dare to say so, just because when he was guiding the students to make a fire, it also uses various materials. It is very clear that if it is handled, it will be fast and good. It is often just a tiny spark, turn into a huge fire in the hand. No wonder I dare to come and take part in the challenge. He really has some tricks up his sleeves. He welcomes everyone to sign up for a class to study. Chris also worked hard to light the fire. Suddenly, it was found that there were ducks flying ahead. For a top hunter like myself, as long as it is within the range, the package can be shot down. The problem is that they are getting farther and farther away from here. To avoid encountering prey without weapons, he has to take a bow and arrow wherever he goes. While looking for resources, observe the traces of nearby animals at the same time. See if we can find their migration routes. The program team equipped the contestants with basic equipment. Besides, each person can also bring 3 pieces of equipment by themselves. Chris must have chosen the bow and arrow. This can deal with most of the prey. Moreover, the arrow can also be used as a knife. John finished his work and began to enjoy breakfast. After a night's storage, it has turned into delicious fish jelly. This will taste better, constantly bouncing between teeth. Another advantage of fish jelly is that it can be stored for a long time. It won't stink in a short time. Zenny wants to set up fishing nets here. One can only take off one's clothes and go into the water. Fix it with stones. It's extremely cold when the wind blows now. Not to mention getting into the water. Although it's not very deep here, but holding stones is really tiring. It is almost impossible to go to the deep water area. Hurry back to the shore and figure out a way. Chris didn't give up hunting because of the rain. I didn't expect to encounter the prey. Instead, small gifts were found. I originally thought there wasn't much good stuff inside. The moment I saw the barley flower, Chris's eyes all shone. This flower can at least keep oneself going for a few more days. John is thinking of building a small wooden house. For this purpose, quite a lot of materials were collected. The machete I brought myself is really useful. It is fast and effortless to handle materials. Zenny didn't give up setting the fishing net. She tied all the ropes to the stones, then pull it to the other side to set it up and fix it. Just come back and pull the net back at last. The idea is quite good. It is just prone to getting stuck. Chris is also collecting materials to build a shelter. It is not difficult at all for him, apart from having experience in construction. The more important reason is that it brought spiral drills for drilling. Fix it with nails. He has 19 years of architectural experience. Just have hands to build a small wooden house. It is guaranteed to have the best shelter among the contestants. Look, this framework will surely work out well. John originally intended to deal with it with a tripod, but the space is not large and needs to be rebuilt. Ben also uses tripods here. This space will obviously be much better. John also adjusted and dealt with it in time. There is more space to stand up again. It's just a bit tiring to lay out the tarpaulin. Ben especially got a spring mattress. Even in the wild, be kind to yourself. It was very warm inside after the fire was lit, as long as food can be obtained to eat later. The challenge doesn't seem very difficult either. She and her husband open a bar. I usually like to brag to guests. Now coming here can only be for my own entertainment. It seems quite happy in the short term. The feeling of loneliness became even stronger later on. One needs to constantly adjust one's mindset to face it. Jesse was holding a fishing rod and still thinking of catching a fish. The good news is that a big fish has taken a bite. The bad news is that the fishing line couldn't bear it and burst. Underestimated the intensity here. A stronger fishing rod should be brought over. Jacob expressed his dissatisfaction. Bring your fishing rod and come for the challenge. My stomach is growling with hunger now. I hope I can get something to eat. Suddenly, I accidentally got stuck in the swamp. Fortunately, the reaction was quick enough to avoid sinking. It seems that it's not very safe here either. Pay more attention to the ground when walking. Jacob doesn't think it's a big problem. Anyway, I'm happy to be able to fish. Look, isn't there a fish taking the bait? After Jesse readjusted the fishing line, the big fish in the water was finally caught. Good grief. This size is really too big. You don't have to worry about going hungry these days. Charlotte does collect the berries nearby. These can provide a little nutrition. It's definitely impossible to compare with Jesse's big fish. Zenny doesn't look for food to eat. Instead, wood is cut down to make combs. I wonder how she came up with it. Not in a hurry for food at all. Ben also got a big fish here. It has to be said that the food here is really abundant. Now it's the case that whoever fails to get the food is embarrassed. Zinni wasn't in a hurry at all. Instead, it is after setting up the comb that the combing is carried out. John gains something every time he swings the club. He is a little curious about how many fish there are here. Generally speaking, it shouldn't have gone so smoothly. I'm a little worried that all the fish have run away later. So try to catch as many as possible. Jacob didn't catch a single fish by then. I felt so bad that I could only go back and lie down. I especially missed the days when I lived with my girlfriend. Bent said, "What's that bad old man at home longing for? It would be better to eat more fish." The challenge has reached the third day. This place is not as noisy as other challenging areas. It's so quiet that it's a little frightening. I always feel that something problem will suddenly arise. Jacob thought it was very noisy because my stomach has been bothering since the day before yesterday. Some fish are urgently needed to fill our stomachs. Try to put the fishing net into the water. The water temperature is terrifyingly low now. The worst thing is that it's a swamp in front. It would be bad if the body got stuck in. It seems that we have to find a way to go around to the opposite side. This is how Zinni set up the fishing net. It can be pulled up and checked now. Got a big fish as smoothly as imagined. I originally thought it would be great to have a fish to eat. I didn't expect there to be a fish after processing it. Really, as long as the water level here doesn't change much. She is sure to fill her stomach with this. I almost got caught by it when handling the fish. Fortunately, I reacted quickly enough. This prevented the fish that was in hand from escaping. Anyway, is it good to have meat to eat? Chris also checked the fishing net after waking up. His fish is much smaller. It would be a waste of firewood even if it were to be roasted. Jesse adjusts and deals with the shelter whenever he has free time. Have you figured out how to build it before coming to the challenge? The conception was extremely perfect. It's just a little difficult to operate. It takes more time to spend on it. Zinni is more at ease. Build whatever comes to mind. Fix the waterproof cloth first and then lift it up. I think this can lead to success at one go. She usually likes to make things by herself at home, whether it's a dining table or a small house. Those were all handheld and pinched. So I have great confidence in this shelter. However, it is very difficult to operate in practice. It doesn't feel as stable as the one Jesse made. Just cover it with the tarpaulin. Zinni binds the tarpaulin first. Instead, it was the strong wind that blew it up. If one is not careful, it will collapse completely. No wonder no one would put a tarpaulin on it first. My mood was completely broken. When doing things, one still needs to be down to earth. It's obvious that Chris's side is stable at a glance. He also got nails from the discarded materials. Now the shelter has become even more perfect. After Zinni's short rest, rebuild the shelter. This time it went much more smoothly. It's just that the space is much smaller than expected. Unlike other contestants who are big and comfortable, John even set up a drainage ditch beside it. The experience is indeed much better. Moreover, insects can be found to eat when digging the soil. It's simply a win-win situation. Ben caught a big fish again, rather than being a challenge of living alone in the wilderness. It feels more like a fishing competition. Most of the contestants got fish to eat. Bent is very satisfied with this fish. Consider whether to set up a smoking rack for drying. Jesse was in a very good mood. The leftover fish bones are displayed in front of the camera. Be able to have a fish every day. Feeling happier than anything else. The fish rice made by Bentuna looks more fragrant. I really envy these contestants who eat big fish, even if it's just a simple baking. The freshness of the ingredients themselves is already delicious enough. It's just that I ate too much meat and threw myself up. It's really unexpected. One day, we will be able to see contestants complaining about having too much meat. Those who have no meat to eat are likely to hit people. If you get tired of fish, you can add some berries for seasoning. Of course, you can also make some bread to fill your stomach. No one should be eliminated in the short term. The challenge has reached the fourth day. The temperature at night is getting lower and lower. Try to collect as many berries as possible. Otherwise, it would be such a waste to wait until it gets damaged by the cold. I wonder what will happen next. Let's wait and see together. How can one achieve freedom of fish meat in the wild? It can be achieved with a fishing rod in hand. No skills are needed at all. If you throw it down, there will be big fish to eat. The size is definitely to your satisfaction. It can be directly processed, cut into pieces, and roasted to eat. Even the fish tail is delicious. If you can't finish eating too much, it can be smoked dry. I just don't know what the socks next door are for. The challenge has reached the 4th day. Although Zinni said he had also brought a bow and arrow over. But there was no rush to go hunting. Instead, train first to enhance the sense of touch. After all, she doesn't use it very often. It is still safer to have the truth in hand. Archery hunting tests one's psychological quality more. Any slight tremor in the hand will cause something bad. So we can only train more to adapt. But problems followed. Even holding a bow and arrow requires physical strength. It's okay to get the food. It's really exhausting to have none. It seems that fishing is still more reliable. Jesse was in a good mood in front of the camera. He thinks the environment here is very suitable for vacation. After the challenge is over, the family members must be brought here to have a look. This on the tree is not only a high-quality flammable material, it's also a great companion for going to the toilet. It is definitely much softer than ordinary leaves. Will you also show everyone how to squat in the wild? This is the posture that makes him feel most comfortable. Good grief. Can we just squat down? Jessie even wanted to make a chair for her own convenience. Don't think this is funny. This is an important course in his curriculum. No one can avoid it in the wild. How to make oneself comfortable at the same time. Reduce pollution to the environment. It is well worth everyone's consideration. If you're interested, you can sign up for the course. Charlotte is going to add another yarn. Just go directly into the water to set it up. It was so cold that her goosebumps rose. It's already uncomfortable enough to be here. Unexpectedly, the life jacket suddenly fell off. What's even more fatal is that the fishing net gets entangled with the bottom. It's like getting stuck in cement. My body just can't take it. It's important to return to the shore first to keep warm. I feel a little better when I put on my clothes. The seasons here change very greatly. The fire must be kept burning continuously. I really regret not making a fire to keep warm in advance. She once frostbitten her feet. It is very clear how painful it is to encounter in the wild. I have to think more before taking action next time. Jacob is currently filling his stomach with barley flour. He very much hopes that the fishing net can catch fish to eat. Otherwise, the flour will be eaten up. The body can't hold on for long either. I'm quite unaccustomed to the feeling of being hungry. I never thought I would be troubled by fishing. You should know that he has been fishing since he was a child. I often go to different areas and catch all kinds of fish. I think my fishing skills are fine. A study was conducted on this side before starting the challenge. It took a long time to decide on the fishing rod. Who would have thought that no fish have been caught so far? There's a feeling that underachievers have too much stationery. Fortunately, there's a consolation prize to eat in the fishing net. It's really not easy. Finally, my stomach can calm down for a while. Chris is still busy improving the shelter. He hopes to strive for excellence, reach the level where one can live for a long time. Although the tools brought are limited, but it doesn't affect his working speed. It's just that I've expended a bit too much physically. But on the whole, this shelter is quite worthwhile. The only thing Chris is worried about is the snow. If you can't bear the collapse, it's all over. Zinni found quite a few junipers nearby. These are particularly fragrant when used as seasonings to cook fish. It can also be directly steeped in water for drinking. It has many benefits for the body. She doesn't know how the other contestants are doing. I think everyone must not be doing very well. Bent said that was not the case. I ate too much fish before and even threw up. There are a lot of fishing tools at home. Each applicable scope is different. Pike are more active in Finland. I also spent quite a lot of time matching it myself. So every time I see her, she can catch fish. It's really not all because of good luck. Look, another fish has bitten up. Facts have proved that as long as the right bait and tools are chosen, it's not difficult at all to fill one's stomach here. In fact, she still has a fish cage left unarranged. Now, I'm not afraid of having no fish to eat, but I'm afraid of having too many that I can't finish and go bad. Jesse thought Bennett was a little pretentious. Who would complain about too much food? No matter where it is, the more the better. While they were talking, another big fish came ashore.
Ah! Yeah!
Immediately chop it unconscious with your palm. I didn't finish eating the fish at once. First, make half of it to satisfy your craving. Even if there is fish to eat every day, the weight will drop significantly. The fish caught by Bent are also very big. She was quite afraid that it would suddenly get up and jump back into the water. Only by cutting off the head can one feel a little more at ease. After simply processing the fish, there is another pile of meat waiting to make people throw up. Charlotte felt that the temperature was getting colder and colder. The main task today is to set up a good shelter. It was studied before coming. This way of building is the most convenient and sturdy. Finally, adjust the waterproofing properly and it can be placed there. She felt the comfort level of the shelter. It is more important than how many fish you catch. Chris strongly agrees with this. He has been looking for suitable materials to take back. It would be great if it could make the inside more comfortable. This one is quite suitable to be placed on the bed. A slight adjustment is needed. Jesse, on the other hand, focused on the usage of the fire. Make a small pit specifically for lighting the firewood. It can prevent the fire from being blown out. It can also prevent sparks from igniting the surrounding area. Chris's bed has been optimized and upgraded. He is very satisfied with that. I really want to lie on it and sleep until dawn. The contestants were all quite satisfied with their shelters. I think it should be able to last until the end. John smoked because there were too many fish. He didn't expect to be so successful. Are the socks placed beside you to add more flavor? All the contestants are worried about the drop in temperature. I wonder if something can hold up now. The challenge has reached the 5th day. Nobody expected it to rain. The smoke outlet above Jesse can only be sealed. Zinni was also very troubled by this. I thought it would rain here, but I didn't know it came so early. Fortunately, some time was left for them to adjust. It's just a bit difficult to get it right away. Try to contract the opening as much as possible. Anyway, as long as no raindrops fall in, that's fine. It's no problem to make it a little ugly. Before the rain gets heavier, hurry up and collect more firewood to go back. John doesn't know how long it will last either. The saw brought is very useful. It doesn't take as much effort as a machete. Besides the saw, there are quite a few tools at home. Everything was quite good in the challenge. In fact, what I most want to bring is a tent. It's much better than a shelter built by oneself. The temperature is getting lower and lower. Charlotte needs to light the fire. I have no idea after the blockade above. Hope the smoke can drift outside smoothly. The fishing net side also needs to be rearranged. Jacob is going to arrange the fish cage properly. The temperature has dropped really too fast. My body can't take it anymore. His shelter is really bad. There is no fireplace for heating inside yet. The tarpaulin can only be rewound in the rain. It would be nice to have a place to live. After Charlotte set up the fishing net, hurry up and get dressed and go back to dry. Just as imagined. I felt very warm and comfortable when I got back. This cigarette is really choking. This kind of thing is most annoying on rainy days. John is having a hard time either. A smoke exhaust channel needs to be dug out at the bottom. This one for holding fishing rods is quite suitable. Dig directly according to this size. I believe it will be done soon. Don't be fooled by the large amount of firewood that Zinni has stockpiled here, but many of them were soaked through. It takes some effort to light the fire. She specially brought a piece of full-grain leather. This can isolate the damp environment. Sparks are more likely to fall into the fluff and catch fire. It can also protect the legs when cutting. With this, it is much more convenient to light. It's just that the firewood is a little damp. The smoke produced will be more and more. Just hope not to choke people awake in the middle of the night. Chris didn't rest because of the rain. Insist on checking the fishing nets outside. It's a pity that only a branch was caught in the end. Although the shelter is perfect now, but it has also consumed almost all the energy in the body. The rain seriously affects fishing. If this continues, it will be extremely worrying. if there is no flour to fill the stomach. I don't have the energy to build a shelter by myself. Hope before this bag is finished. He is able to find a stable source of food. First, prepare something to eat to warm your stomach. John has already buried the pipe here. It is covered with moss and soil on top. Make sure no smoke comes out. Jesse thought the rain was really annoying. There are already many things to do that require work. The rain is neither too heavy nor too heavy. I still have to go out in the rain. It will be better for a heavy rainstorm. Everyone can also lie down and rest inside. In fact, getting caught in the rain is not a big problem. It's just whether the wind can be a little weaker. The face hurt a little like being scraped by a knife. Ben would rather make a fire outside to boil water. Nor do I want the fire to be built inside the shelter. Boiled water is not good to drink. Some leaves should be added next time. The challenge has reached the 6th day. Zenny was woken up by the sounds outside. It feels like something must have fallen. Sure enough, I saw ducks outside. It would be great if it could be hunted. There is one on Chris's side, too. It's just that the distance between the two sides is a bit far. Plus, it's too quiet here. Even the slightest movement on my own will startle me. Zenny chose to sit by the shore and wait. The problem duck didn't linger. After staying for a while, it flew to another place. If only one could be hit. It's very damp here with Jacob. Everything has to be done well today. The gloves are very wet and uncomfortable inside. It's just that not wearing it can easily cause hand injuries. Ben just got quite a few more wounds for no reason. It's fine if it just hurts. I'm just afraid that the wound will get infected and my finger will have to be moved. For safety reasons, call the doctor over. The director team here does care about the contestants indeed. Whenever there is a problem, they will go and ask. Ben's swelling is rather exaggerated. Apart from being afraid of wound infection, the doctor is worried that there are parasites inside. This would get bigger and bigger. It is not strange to lose sensation behind the fingers. The equipment brought is limited. It's not easy for doctors to determine what the problem is either. It all depends on Ben's own fate. Jesse was busy trimming the firewood. Collect as much pine bark as possible. He had a premonition that the rainstorm would be even more violent later. Hurry up and stock up on more firewood. This kind of resin is relatively abundant. It catches fire with a casual light strike with a firearm. If you want to hold a bonfire party, this kind should be used. John thinks he is quite good at catching fish. A woven basket is needed for easy carrying. This operation is not difficult at all. Just arrange it slowly like him. I usually enjoy studying handicrafts. I believe I can surely be of help in the challenge. Adjust this thing again. It feels a bit like a bird trap. Jacob found a woodpecker ahead. It's a pity that I didn't bring a bow and arrow. All he can do now is to collect more firewood. Charlotte was originally very confident about her physical ability. Know how to exercise more effectively. Many young people are not as capable as her. But only after coming here did I understand. No matter how much one exercises, it cannot enhance the tolerance to hunger. Often I'm so hungry that I feel dizzy. Even if you eat several fish every day, she felt that she couldn't even satisfy her stomach. It's already good to have berries to eat. Like Jacob, he can only chew the bark. It feels better to eat ants. At least there is some protein in it. The biggest problem of Chris's shelter. It's just impossible to expel the smoke. He doesn't want to become bacon jerky. It would be best to make a hole in it. It looks quite simple and relaxed, but it's really tiring to do it. Then there should be no need to worry about water ingress. All the energy is spent on this. It is unknown when food freedom can be achieved. The contestants who have meat to eat are fine. It's really uncomfortable when there isn't enough food. Archery hunting is more difficult than imagined. Zenny squatted until his legs went numb, but still got nothing. She seriously suspected that all the animals around had been moved away. I don't even have the strength to draw the bow now. It would be great if some truth could be obtained. Ducks can be killed with one shot no matter how far away they are. I'm really afraid that I'll be so hungry later that I can't even pull the bow and arrow. There are really too many on Ben's side. If there are any contestants who are hungry, welcome to come and have some meat together. This bowl of fish soup can only be said to be extremely delicious. I was almost moved to tears. Eating fish every day is very greasy. If only the bird could be roasted. It's really like people with different fates. Jacob has only a little meat to eat. Every day, I'm so hungry that I feel dizzy. But if there's a little more food, I wouldn't feel so bad myself either. The challenge has reached the 7th day. The contestants began to collect food after waking up. Pull the net to the deep water as much as possible. Hope more fish can be caught. Zenny to catch some fish. There's no need to go hungry any longer today. John's smoke-dried fish is not perfect. Mainly, there are raindrops falling onto it. In order to avoid wasting food, we can only finish these first. No matter how much food the contestants have, the weight has still been decreasing. The belt is getting tighter and tighter as it is pulled. The holes above will be insufficient sooner or later. No wonder everyone says to come here for weight loss. It does make people very healthy. Jacob just wants to set up the shelter now. Otherwise, the longer you delay, the more your body can't bear it. This entire process is full of problems. It's really a case of one wrong move and your head could blossom. That is, local food is the most abundant. When you have time, entertain yourself in front of the camera. Jesse is addicted to dressing up. I wish I could stick all the bones to my face. I really want to do something as soon as I'm full. The hungry people are all working hard. Jacob is still far from the completion progress. When it gets dark, one can only go back and lie down to rest. The challenge has reached the 8th day. Sunlight can be seen in the wild. The mood will all get better. Jesse's luck is really good. Another big fish came to the door. There is a serious suspicion that he has a connection with the director. Why does a big fish come from time to time? Others, Chris, worry about food every day. I wish I could go hunting all day long. I brought a bow and arrow here just to show off my skills. But not even a single bird is seen here. I really don't know except for fishing. What other ways are there to obtain food? Compared with when he first arrived, he looked much more haggard. He thinks that if he wants to succeed, he should look far away. It's just that you can't go to the area of other players. I have no idea about the food situation of others either. It shouldn't be much better than myself, right? At present, there is plenty of local food and no pressure. Only then did I have the mood to dry the sleeping bag. If it were someone else, they would have run to look for food long ago. So, the early planning must be done well. Only in this way will there be plenty of food. Besides, rest is also very important. It is essential to ensure a dry environment. Jacob's shelter was finally set up. Just place the waterproof fabric on the cover. He should no longer have to worry about rainy days. The Zanina smoke exhaust tunnel should be preserved. In order to avoid rain coming in, just add a small piece of cloth on top. It's just that this operation is a little difficult. It would be much better if I could climb up. It is particularly dangerous to handle it by oneself. A sudden collapse would mean it's all over. It is not recommended to handle it in this way alone in the wild. Fortunately, nothing unexpected happened. Charlotte suddenly felt a little dizzy and uncomfortable. Is this not a good sign? Are you afraid that something serious might happen to your body? Let's first take a look at how the fish cage is over there. Everyone got food to eat. Finally, it's my turn to be happy. The fish is not big in size, but at least it proves that there are fish nearby. Throw out the fishing rod immediately and have a try. As soon as they got down, they said a fish had bitten them up. Look at how lively it is. It must be very delicious when put in the mouth, which is better later, stewing or grilling. John's shelter is already perfect. Basically, as long as there are no major problems. It's fine to invite your wife to stay on vacation. It's really not John bragging about himself. His shelter can still close the door. It's impossible for a bit of wind to get in. Perhaps only the bed is a little small. Jacob's space is much larger. It's just that the smoke exhaust holes haven't been installed at all. If you want to make a fire inside, you'll have to wait a little longer. Zenny spends quite a lot of time on firewood every day. She thought this was more annoying than going hungry. The body is getting weaker and weaker. I have no idea how to change this situation either. It would be great if something like a reindeer could come. I really wish I could just lie down and eat meat every day, waiting for the bonus to come. Bente should try to collect as many ingredients as possible here. Make life more comfortable. To ensure the physical safety of the contestants. The doctor will come for examination at intervals and give some suggestions to the contestants. Those who are too low in weight will be discouraged and eliminated. So try to get as much food as possible. Jesse thought it made a lot of sense. Reward yourself with skewered grilled fish. This is exactly what survival in the wild should be like. Look at this beautiful dark brown color. Take a bite directly. It's as delicious as French fries. Is there any friend who wants to eat? Just think about it through the screen. The contestants who had food to eat were all expressing gratitude. Those without food can only satisfy their hunger by enjoying the scenery. A strong wind blew at night. The Zanina shelter is tottering. Get up overnight to reinforce it. I didn't have a good rest all night. It feels extremely exhausting. Thinking of collecting some materials outside. Good grief. Can this still go on? Let's wait and see together. These contestants are striving to win the $1 million prize. Just being able to catch fish is not enough. Should one know how to plan food? Do you think it's a big piece of fish to eat for a whole day? That's really underestimating them. This small piece is the meal for the whole day. A fish can be cut into at least 9 pieces. If you work a little harder, there will be no problem eating it for half a month. Surely someone will ask me if I can't catch any fish. Then why not come over quickly and see how they solved it? The challenge has reached the 9th day. Zenny hit his head and fainted. Fortunately, she woke up soon and called the doctor. This prevented her from eating at the banquet on the spot. It was doing quite well originally. This fall directly plunged me into the lowest point. The body couldn't help trembling. Look at her expression, as if she were about to die. It feels like the program team will really force people to leave. Long-term hunger combined with recent blood loss. Zenny couldn't even stand up. The doctor conducted further examinations. Her physical condition is not good enough to continue the challenge. It is necessary to be sent to the hospital for observation for 24 hours. Zenny didn't expect to prepare for so long. The challenge will end in the end because of a fall. She really couldn't accept it. In fact, the most fundamental reason is the lack of food. It leads to an inability to concentrate. It's only a matter of time before an accident occurs. Zenny never expected this at all, still thinking of persisting by catching fish. Moreover, it is comfortable inside the shelter. Logically speaking, one should have persisted for a while longer. It's a pity there are no ifs. Just like this, another contestant withdrew from the challenge. There are still 6 people remaining on the field. I don't know among the remaining contestants. Who do you all think looks more like a champion? Let's continue to read on. Jesse is in order to obtain more energy. He was exploring while eating. Most of the berries nearby have been plucked. Place all hopes on this lake. It looks quite suitable for catching fish to eat. Charlotte went to check the condition of the fishing net. To win the challenge, one has to catch at least 2 or 3 fish in a week. Today, I was quite lucky. 2 fish were caught in total. There's no need to worry so much this week. It just causes a bit of damage to the fishing net. It takes a long time to pull them down every time. But as long as there is meat to eat, these are all just minor problems. Today's harvest was quite rich. The best way to store it in the wild is to stuff it in the stomach. She'll roast them all and chew them down in a moment. Bint should be the one who is doing the best among the current players. She is not worried about the food problem at all. One can always get food to eat when needed. And a considerable amount of firewood has also been stockpiled. She felt as comfortable as she was on vacation. John has had a harder time. Spent a lot of time cutting down wood every day. When I have free time, I guide my son to do carpentry. He likes the days with his family very much. How could it be like now when no one pays attention to anything you do? Has anyone guessed what is going to be done this time? In fact, John doesn't know what he is doing either. Just want to vent some emotions. There are still 2 pieces of fish meat in the shelter. Eating sparingly can also enable oneself to endure for another week. At least others still have some stock to eat. Chris could only pray every day to catch fish. My weight was low during the previous physical examination. I had been warned by the doctor once. In order to get better physically, I tried every possible way. I'm going to build a raft, as long as it can reach the deep water area over there. The chance of obtaining food by oneself will be greater. The idea is quite good. I just don't know if this can float smoothly. Each contestant has a different way of building the shelter. Most of the contestants adopted conical tents. This kind is simple and convenient. All will optimize and upgrade internally as much as possible. Some are just like small wooden houses. Those who don't know might think it's for a vacation. Jacob is very satisfied with his shelter. There is no need to worry at all about sudden collapse. There's still quite a few things inside that can be upgraded. A lot of energy has been consumed for this thing. When one's energy is insufficient, do you feel extremely exhausted no matter what you do? It would be nice if there were a partner to share the burden. It's been a long time since I had a full meal. This challenge is even more difficult than imagined. I really don't know how those people stayed for several months. I'm usually quite optimistic. Negative emotions rarely occur. But once you take part in the challenge, your heart is really in pain. It is said that people who love to smile have good luck. Perhaps it's just not bad enough. Just like myself, I can't smile now. There will be a bonfire party here in bed. There are also berries to eat when you have a craving. This will be more delicious after being boiled and heated. The sweetness is quite good. She quite likes a life like this now. It would be nice if more food could be obtained. It is hoped that some diversity can be increased. It's really not my own Versailles. Eating fish every day is really getting boring. John does want to eat meat every day. Going hungry for a long time not only makes one physically uncomfortable, the spirit was also tortured very much. Recalling the passing of a loved one a few years ago, it also took him quite a lot of time to get out. So I especially cherish the days spent with my family. It's the first time I've been away from them for so long. I wonder how things are going now, but it's definitely much better than myself. At least there is no need to worry about the food problem. It's really getting lonelier and lonelier. Charlotte made a tripod. It is convenient for me to work here. Let's start with a serving of fried fish to fill our stomachs. No seasonings were put in it at all. It can only be said that the more I eat, the more insipid it becomes. I really need some other food to satisfy my craving. Pour some water into the pot and cook it. It can also be drunk as fish soup. One can consume more oil to some extent. Jesse didn't have such an idea. Having meat to eat is already very satisfying. How could one possibly feel bored? Especially when food is limited. The fish bones are so hard to chew and swallow. In fact, he doesn't have much food. It all depends on one's own planned eating. Keep the food for as long as possible. His chance of winning the bonus will be much greater. Charlotte put the fish in a bag and sealed it. Make sure to have one every day. Now this place is just like a natural refrigerator. There should be no problem in reasoning, right? There are 9 pieces of fish left on Jesse's side that he hasn't eaten. When the time comes, the leftovers can still be used to make soup. Conservatively estimated, it can last for 11 days. If I can catch a fish to eat during that period, it will surely work if you hold on for another half a month. Jesse thought there was nothing wrong with this plan. I'm sure I'll be hungry. It's fine as long as it can be ensured that one won't suddenly faint. I go fishing every week, with the help of professional fishing gear. As long as you can see the fish, you can catch them. The situation is quite different in the wild. More time and energy need to be spent on it. The handling of fish. Most people would shake their heads when they saw it. It doesn't look very good. If someone comes to check, it will definitely be unqualified. It's not a big problem for Bent. Anyway, I didn't feel any discomfort after eating it. So I think it's okay to store food like this. In fact, the contestants who came to take part in the challenge, there are particularly many scars on both hands. I get injured almost every day. These small wounds really healed and cracked again. I have no way to deal with them at all. Anyway, it has little impact on the challenge. Almost everyone chose to ignore it. Deal with it after the challenge is over. The challenge has reached the 10th day. It's drizzling outside again. The contestants have adapted to the changeable weather. Every time I encounter it, I can only stay inside and rest. The damp environment makes people very uncomfortable. Jesse will go fishing as soon as the rain eases a little. He wants to snowball his advantages. At least hold on until this month. Does Bennett have no worries? Now I really can do whatever I want. It looks very relaxed. Doesn't she have anything in particular that needs to be done? Just prepare firewood every day to keep the fire going. Life is getting better and better. John thought of making a hammer out of this piece of wood. The process is very simple. Just determine the size. Then just remove the redundant part. The reason why he did this thing. In fact, it's just about trying to divert attention through manual work. Let oneself temporarily get rid of the feeling of loneliness. Jacob hasn't eaten fish for 4 days. To be hungry is to be so hungry that one doubts one's life. I especially miss the days spent with my family, although everyone is thinking of continuing the challenge. But still, some people chose to withdraw without bearing the pressure. Who do you all think it will be? It turned out that John failed to withstand the pressure. I really want to go back and reunite with my family. Actually, it's quite a pity. There is clearly such a wonderful shelter to rest in. Even if fish was not finished. If it were someone else, they could have persisted for some time. John thinks it unnecessary. He tried to divert his attention, but the effect is not obvious. The more one struggles, the more uncomfortable one feels. Rather than waste time like this, it's better to go home earlier. It's really a pity. I thought John could hold on a little longer. I never expected that even such a smooth start would be unacceptable, especially on food. Those hungry contestants all burst into tears of craving when they saw it. But if they have such conditions, it's not a problem to persist for several months. John also knows that his living conditions are good, But from a spiritual perspective, I'm really tortured to the extreme. He is not strong enough to be ignored. John doesn't know how many players are left. I hope everyone can persist for a longer time. As John withdrew from the challenge, there are only 5 people left on the field. It's only been 10 days. It can't be that the challenge will end in a month, can it? Jacob has built the small boat. It is much heavier than imagined. Now it depends on whether one can float on the water. Is it no problem to float up? He thought it was okay to cross to the deep water area as well. As long as you go there, you can catch fish. I'm sure I can do it myself. Chris is also going to have a try. This is much smoother than imagined. He can go fishing in the deep water area. Bent said it didn't need to be so troublesome. She still has a lot of fish in stock here. When one is hungry, it can be roasted over the fire. The taste is quite delicate. The salmon meat melts in the mouth. It's not as greasy as the pike before. This is exactly the delicious food I want to eat. Add some internal organs as well. It's simply a delicacy of the world. Charlotte wasn't so comfortable. After waking up, do you think about how to smoke? I haven't made a fire no matter how cold it is recently. I'm just afraid of being knocked out by smoke in the middle of the night. As the weather gets colder and colder, the body can't hold on any longer. This smoke passage must be properly arranged. Thinking of digging a ditch here. Then cover it with a tarpaulin. Put some moss on it to press down. It should be able to expel the smoke smoothly. The idea is quite good. But what if it rains? It would be bad if all the water flooded in then. Obviously, she didn't take these into consideration. Just thinking about being able to make a fire to keep warm inside is fine. After Chris finished building the small boat, thinking of setting up a shelf to dry the shoes again, no matter where. He doesn't even want to see the mess around. A little effort can improve the comfort level. I believe everyone would be willing to do so. Chris's goal is to be like home. Jesse discovered that there was a lake further away. He is going there to have a look today. It would be best if one could catch a big fish there. Soon came to a new place to try fishing. This place is even better than imagined. It's very easy to have fish to eat. It seems that the challenge isn't that difficult. Charlotte has optimized and upgraded the smoke exhaust system. She can put more firewood in it now. It's been a long time since I've experienced such warmth. The mood is extremely good, feeling that I'm sure I can persist for a longer time. Everyone is striving to make life better. They have gone through the most difficult days. Next, it depends on who has a stronger willpower. There will be more hope of taking on the challenge. Judging from the current situation, most of the contestants performed quite well. Among them, Bent lived the most comfortably. There is no worry about food or clothing. Pick up the photos and look at them whenever you have free time. My mood is getting better and better. Unlike Chris, who is thinking about quitting all the time. He can only divert his attention by constantly working. If you quit the challenge now, that would really be a disservice to the shelter. It wastes too much of one's energy on it. The challenge comes to the 11th day. Chris didn't sleep very well. There's always a voice calling him home. I was extremely agitated inside. He needs a small victory now to boost morale. It would be best to hunt for food with a bow and arrow. Jacob didn't sleep well. The temperature was so low last night that frost could form. There's a piece of ice in Bentuna. It proves that winter is getting closer and closer. If one cannot maintain body temperature, it's okay to deal with frostbite in some parts. The most terrifying thing is to faint due to hypothermia. Charlotte's toes were so cold that she couldn't feel it. It seems that I can only stay inside and warm myself by the fire. I don't want to experience frostbite again. She knows how uncomfortable this will be. At that time, there were still professional tools. Seek help from professional doctors. But still, my feet were frostbitten. Just healing takes a lot of time and energy. The situation is a bit bad now. No matter how close you get to the fire, you won't feel anything. She can only take things as they come. If one withdraws due to frostbite to the feet, that would be too regrettable. Chris has been waiting here for half an hour. Not even a bird was seen. There's a serious suspicion that it has been relocated to another place. Let's take a look at the fish cage first. How about that? It remains the same as before. My mood was extremely low. He tried to swing the fish hook as far as possible. So why not use small boats to go to the deep water area? In fact, I still lack physical strength. I'm worried that I won't have the strength to come back after rowing. Jesse has just woken up now. I had a very satisfying meal last night. My stomach is still full now. Don't forget to warm up and do some exercises before going out to explore. I feel warm all over. Bennett wasn't in a hurry to explore either. Anyway, it's windy now and we can't go fishing. It's better to carve and paint on the tree first. The mood is extremely good. Perhaps what everyone doesn't know is, had an operation before participating in the challenge. Be able to persist here for so long now. I really didn't expect it myself. It was just a bit bumpy at the beginning. The back is as comfortable as a vacation. Jesse went nearby to explore new things. It would be best to enrich the diversity of food. He unexpectedly found that the bushes were growing out of the stones. This is really incredible. I really want to knock the stone open to see what's going on. He thinks that to survive in the wild, one should maintain curiosity. Only in this way can one appreciate the charm of nature. Jesse often takes people on adventures in the wild. I'm especially happy when getting along with young people. Be sure to go out more when you have the chance. Otherwise, when you get old, you won't be able to walk even if you want to. There's still some berries to eat here. Everything inside has been frozen into smoothies. This texture and taste are quite interesting. Jacob was thinking of setting sail and fishing. It's said that water has entered before it reaches 10 meters. It's a great pity that it can only be dragged back for adjustment. The worst thing is that the inside of the shoes is all soaked through. The toes were dancing there with cold. This mattress was carefully selected and brought by myself. The fluff on top can bring more heat. Friends who want to go camping in the snow. It is recommended to bring this with your real name. Although I really don't want to get into the water. Aggravate the frostbite condition of the feet. But I still want to keep challenging. The fishing nets must be set up properly. Otherwise, there won't be enough food. Her body couldn't hold on either. The fishing nets here in Bent also need to be adjusted. She has been thinking about how to be more convenient. It is best not to go into the water for treatment, even if one often exercises in ice water. But that was all when one was in good health. It's better not to take too many risks now. And Charlotte came out of the water. The whole person was shivering all over with cold. Now I wish I could burn myself thoroughly like firewood. The days ahead will be even colder. Can one really hold on until the end like this? Jacob hopes to get the shelter in the sunlight. There's no warmth at all now. It's just like lying in a morgue. It's bound to be unbearable after a long time. So even if the body doesn't have much physical strength, still insist on building a new shelter next door. Jesse also made adjustments to the shelter. He's going to make this tighter and neater. Become as comfortable as home. It's actually the upper part that's not up to par. The ladder needs to be adjusted up there. The idea is quite good. I was a little worried that it might suddenly fall apart when I climbed up. Fortunately, I have lost a lot of weight recently. There's no problem at all on it. However, it is still recommended that everyone do it at noon. After all, something bad will happen sooner or later like this. Jacob has been trying not to give up going home. He has set up shelters 3 times. A lot of energy has really been wasted on this. Hope it's the last move. Jesse was very satisfied after readjusting the shelter. There could be extra binding ropes to be used elsewhere. Bent was originally going to enter the water to adjust the fishing net, but after one's own adjustments, I will never be stuck by stones again. My mood now is,
Yeah!
as long as one can maintain this state, it's only a matter of time before winning the bonus. Other contestants cannot be ignored either. Everyone is striving to keep on challenging. It's just that Charlotte's toe is not right. In the past, players encountered this situation. All of them are going to be persuaded to leave and go home by the program team. It seems that her withdrawal can be reserved in advance. The challenge has reached the 12th day. Bennett hasn't caught any fish for a long time, but she wasn't in a hurry at all. Years of fishing experience told him, I will only go and have a look when the wind direction is right. Jacob's new shelter is not so good. The wind keeps blowing all the time. He could only readjust the tarpaulin, but it was scraped off as soon as it was done. You should know that there might be a storm at night. Jacob was completely devastated by this and that. I wonder if he can keep going. Let's wait and see together. Others go hungry 9 times in 3 days when they are in the wild. The man, however, began to enjoy himself. Fish is eaten as a snack every day. There is no seasoning at all on top. Conquer the taste buds with the inherent umami flavor of the ingredients. After having a full meal and having nothing to do, one can still go up the tree to have tea. How could this be a survival trip in the wild? Isn't it a paid vacation? The challenge has reached the 12th day. The weather is getting worse and worse. The contestants were all worried about being hit by the storm. If the shelter fails to hold up, that challenge is really coming to an end. All Jacob can do now is to reinforce the shelter. Keep adding trees inside to press it down. The smoke exhaust outlet above should also be sealed. Hope this won't be overturned by the strong wind. Ben has all confidence in Asylum. Now there's a shortage of firewood to keep the fire going. These piled up here can also serve as windbreak walls. Theoretically, there's no problem. I'm just afraid that the storm will last too long. Jesse adopted the method of reinforcement. Add trees while binding them with ropes. Charlotte can feel that the wind is very strong now. She didn't choose to reinforce the shelter. Instead, I want to build a ship. Go fishing with the wind at that time. The idea is quite good, but it's too dangerous. What if this capsizes halfway? What's more interesting is that she has never done it. This ship is probably built, but will never be used. Her toe is a little frostbitten. Something is sure to happen if you soak in water for a long time. In order to avoid the shelter being blown away, think of fixing the tarpaulin with a rope. Hope to have a good sleep at night. The positions where the contestants are distributed are different. The impacts received are also different. It would be much better to be like Jesse and Chris. Just make a slight adjustment. Chris is going to fix the door. In this way, there is no need to worry about the wind blowing in. It's just that it's rather complicated to manufacture. There are particularly many details to pay attention to. But for Chris the carpenter, this is much easier than being an apprentice. Plus the tools and assistance he brought. The door frame was done very soon. Before coming to take on the challenge, I had thought of building a wooden house. I am confident that I can live a good life in the wild. Not to mention anything else, just this shelter. It's already far ahead of others. The door side has been almost manufactured. It's fine to fix the waterproof cloth on it. He was also thinking of getting a handle in the middle to facilitate entry and exit. Even the house numbers were carved out. Those who don't know might think it's going to be a long-term residence. Jessie thought her own shelter was also good. There is no need to worry about the situation outside at all. It would be even better if there was something to sit on now. Go nearby and see if there is anything suitable. I happened to come across a fallen tree. It is planned to use just a part of it. Fortunately, I chose this saw before coming. Dealing with trees is really too easy. It's not like an axe that exhausts a person half to death. I highly recommend taking one with you when you go wild. It will be about right if the surface is trimmed. Jessie is still in the mood to decorate herself. It seems that I'm doing quite well here. After a period of effort, there's a place to sit. If you don't like it, it can also be used as firewood. Most of the contestants have completed the reinforcement of shelter. The wind is blowing stronger and stronger here in bit. She had to reinforce it again. The most annoying thing is the noise made when the waterproof fabric is scratched. I couldn't fall asleep at all when I heard it at night. Jacob has been challenging for such a long time and caught 3 fish. He was thinking about how to arrange the fishing net better. It can still be processed in water now. Wait until the water level becomes colder or freezes. I'm afraid I'll have even less chance of catching fish. I was lucky today to find a fish in the net. But the problem is too small, isn't it? It feels like there's no need to deal with it at all. It is more convenient to chew directly. Anyway, is it good to have meat to eat? It can make the body feel more comfortable to some extent. If it were you, how would you deal with this fish? Ben has already completed the shelter here. It has to be said that it looks quite good. There should be no need to worry about it collapsing. It was very quiet inside. There is no need to be bothered by the noises outside anymore. Charlotte also got the boat ready. It was just that it was getting dark soon. There was no time to test it in the water. I'm still not very confident about the shelter. It needs to be reinforced a little more. Jessie quite likes the wind. I feel much more refreshed all over. Jacob returned to the shelter. Put the small fish in the pot and boil it. After all, it can be called fish soup. It can make the body feel more comfortable to some extent. Even these leftover fish bones. He was thinking of being able to put in the pot and stew it again. Ben felt that the wind was very strong outside, but it wasn't affected at all here. It feels wonderful. I wonder what the weather will be like tomorrow. She wants to go fishing and have a look. The challenge has reached the 13th day. Jessie doesn't feel very good. The wind blew last night. It felt as if the shelters were shaking. I just didn't expect the weather to get better. It's really as fast as falling out with my wife. The shelters of most of the contestants were reinforced. All got through the storm smoothly. Chris is going to check the fishing net in the water. Hope to gain something today. This ship is definitely the most correct choice I have ever made. It has greatly increased the chances of obtaining food. Bennett was originally doing quite well. It was just a mistake in fishing before. Break the fishing line and lose the hook. This has led to having to enter the water now. She doesn't know where the hook is either. One can only explore the past slowly like this. If she could get a boat like Chris, then more food can be obtained. It's just that my luck isn't very good today. The fishing net yielded no harvest at all. Facts have proved that not all deep water areas are useful. Chris doesn't have much stock left. If you don't have something to eat, your body won't be able to handle it. Instead, it was Bennett who was lucky. Find the fish hook in the water. The mood is extremely good. Don't forget to celebrate when drying clothes.
Yeah.
Bennett was visibly happy. She is also the one with the most food among the current contestants. I had eaten myself up before. What if nothing unexpected happens? Bennett has quite a chance of winning the bonus. I'm just a little worried about the environment after winter sets in. A large amount of firewood is definitely needed to keep the fire going. Just thinking about it makes you know how tired you will be then. Charlotte went to carry the boat into the water as soon as she woke up. As long as this can pass the test, it is believed that sufficient food can surely be obtained. It won't be a dream to lie down and eat fish then. So far, there seems to be nothing wrong with the ship. Try to sit on it for a while. It's just not as wonderful as imagined. The water rushed up directly and wet the trousers. She was so angry that she threw it directly back onto the shore. Readjusting requires a lot of time and energy. I no longer have enough strength to improve myself. The mood was extremely bad. It might be even more difficult to obtain food later. It feels like being eliminated and going home is already a matter of course. What can be done now is to weave fishing nets. At that time, we still have to go into the water for arrangement. Can a frostbitten toes hold out? There is no sunlight shining in on Jessine's side. It feels a little cold. The temperature will drop even more after the onset of winter. He has to make preparations in advance. There is quite a lot of food available at present. 14 pieces of meat could theoretically last for a month. If it were me, I'm afraid I would finish eating it all in one day. It's a bit difficult to overcome the challenge just by relying on these. One must find a way to gain more. At least 2 or 3 big fish are needed. Let's satisfy our craving with a whole piece of meat first. He particularly likes the part of the fish head. The meat is of excellent quality. You really won't get tired of it no matter how much you eat. Chris is in order to complete the shelter. It leads to the body consuming excessive energy. There is no food supplement now. He really doesn't know what to do. Plus, no fish was caught today. His inventory has been completely exhausted. Now, I don't even have the strength to go out and look for food, recalling the days at home. That means there is meat to eat at every meal. The mood is extremely good. I wonder how my family is doing now. I really want to have dinner with them at the dining table. And those fitness equipment. I also spent quite a lot of time on it myself. In the past, it was really uncomfortable not to exercise for a day. He has won various medals in various challenge competitions. There is definitely no problem in terms of strength. Perhaps it was just a little bad luck. So hungry that one could only stab ants up to eat. The taste is really indescribable. Anyway, even if it's given to dogs, they would still dislike it. The blueberries aren't fully ripe yet. It feels like all the chances to fill one's stomach have been lost. Ben was busy collecting more firewood to go back. Try to bring back 2 days' worth at one time. I really don't want to keep moving things here repeatedly. Jacob saw fish eating insects in the water. If a trap could be made and set up now, it feels like there's still quite a chance to catch something to eat. Did you deliberately practice how to manufacture it before coming here? The difficulty lies in how to attract fish, and if it is touched by other fish. That is particularly easy to be touched by mistake. This requires one to check more by oneself. I plan to get 2 or 3 to test the water first. Bennett managed to bring the firewood back with great difficulty. She is too lazy to deal with it with tools. Just step hard on it with one foot. Anyway, either it broke or my own foot broke. The reason why this challenge went so smoothly. She thinks the place arranged by the program team is good. It should be better than other contestants. Jesse is a bit off duty with gadgets. This thing can help with breathing when it's cold, but it's not very helpful. It's not as quick as just talking. He just thinks of getting some trinkets every day. It can make one's mood better. Show everyone how to use it. Good grief. This can also be used as a musical instrument. Does he really know how to please himself? After Charlotte's ship failed to launch, she can only obtain food by relying on this fishing net. A big fish like this is already very satisfied. The weather is sure to get colder and colder later. The fish all swim towards the deep water area. No ships went there to set up fishing nets. It's really difficult to obtain food in winter. It's impossible to expect her to get into the water. Anyway, is it important to go back and eat fish first? It was fine to work out every day before coming. I'm so weak now that I get out of breath, even after taking a few steps. We still have to find a way to stock up on more food. Jesse has started messing around there again. In order to be able to get some sun, that was climbing directly up the tree to bask in the sunlight. I just don't want to take a few more steps out. The branches are so thick that they are not afraid of falling. He prepared the cup and waited for the tea to be served. Isn't this little life more pleasant than when you go to the factory to tighten screws? Jesse is enjoying the present time very much. The whole person really relaxed. I wonder how the other contestants are. Probably not many people can be as at ease as him. I just feel a little lonely. Jacob has almost set up the traps. It all depends on when a fish will come over. He has quite little confidence in this trap. According to the current situation, it's really not certain that I can finish this month. The challenge has reached the 14th day. The temperature suddenly plummeted below 0. Thick ice has already appeared over there in Bent. Just knock it up and have a look. This thickness should be fine for an individual. If there is ice on the other side of the fishing net, it cannot be used. I'm afraid I'll go hungry after eating the stored meat. Jesse's shoes were frozen hard. That foot was stuffed in just like in the freezer. He didn't expect winter to come so soon. Many things can't go on. At present, all we can do is collect more firewood. Jacob's situation is even worse. The trap was set up just yesterday. It's frozen today, just as imagined. The fishing line is frozen in the water and not easy to take out. Yesterday was simply a waste of time. So angry that he could only pick up an ice cube to vent. It feels like losing all one's strength to strive. Chris found ducks in the lake, but the distance between the two sides is really too far. If there is no ice, you can still row a boat there to have a look. Can't do anything now. It seems that this bow and arrow is of no use either. Chris was really hungry to tears looking at that duck, but there's really no way to get it. I could only go back to the camp in sadness and give up. It was Jacob who had an unexpected surprise. I didn't expect there to be fish lying under the ice. It's right here by the shore. Those who don't know might think it was sent by the program team. I originally thought that the fish had been frozen to retain its freshness. I didn't expect that this stab would still move. Such poor vigilance deserves to be eaten. After coming up, he or she was full of energy and vitality. Now you know how fresh this fish is, right? Actually, there's no problem eating it directly. It just tastes a little fishy. Charlotte wants to go around to the opposite side to have a look. It feels like the resources will be more abundant than here. It's just that the energy consumed is a bit too much. It's really not easy for her. Quite a lot of feces were found on the road. It seems to be a moose. Doesn't she have any weapons to use in her hand, even if it is really picked up on the road? It seems that there is no strength to carry it back either. I really can't figure out what the point of her coming here is. Bent's performance here is stable. Even if it freezes, fish can still be caught. Use a little force to let the fish enter the dream. I didn't expect there to be a surprise in my stomach. Be able to take out the fish. Prove that there should be no shortage of food nearby. It is necessary to find ways to overcome the problem of icing. Bennett can't care about so much now. Clean and fill the fish first. Eat these sparingly. It can also last for another week. Cold weather is not very friendly to the contestants, especially someone like Chris who builds ships. It takes more effort to reach the deep water area. Fortunately, the ice here is not too solid. With a little processing, the inspection fishing nets can still be set up. It's a pity that there is nothing today again. It would be strange if the body could hold on like this. There is no strength left to row across. It feels like I'm about to give up and get ready to go home. Charlotte is also starting to give up. Climb up the mountain and don't want to do anything. Just sit on the ground and enjoy the sunshine. It wasn't so bad for her to travel alone before. It is mainly caused by insufficient food. Has it caused you to be unable to be happy with anything you do now? Did Jesse show how to use the toilet in front of the camera? Especially those like them who don't like squatting. All will adopt various postures to try. Either way feels very strange. Are you sure these can ensure that the trousers are clean? Don't fall down like him when the branch suddenly breaks. This is really disgusting. Jesse quite enjoys life here. Every time, there's a way to cheer oneself up. The ice on Jacob's side is very severe. The rope often freezes and fails to be pulled up. He can only break the ice again and again. It's a bit troublesome though. Is it better to be able than to do nothing at all? There's only a little bit of flour left on Chris's side. There's really nothing left after eating these. He also tried hard to obtain food, but the result was really too bad. There is no need to persist any longer. He really wants to go home and reunite with his family. It's just a pity for this shelter, even if one could catch a small fish. I'm also willing to stay for a while longer. It's a pity there are no ifs. He has already called the program team over. Soon the staff came to Chris's side. There has been no food replenishment for a long time. His body and mind are on the verge of collapse. I haven't caught any fish up to now in the challenge. If it's not the flour provided by the program team, I'm afraid I couldn't hold on and had to go home last week. Is there nothing left to linger on? In fact, Chris is quite capable. It's just a bit of bad luck. As long as I can get some food to eat, he won't choose to quit the challenge either. If other contestants have such construction skills, after the onset of winter, there's no need to worry about waking up in the middle of the night due to the cold. With Chris quitting the challenge, only 4 people remain on the field. Among them, Jesse lived the most comfortably, be able to arrange a barbecue for oneself every day, although no seasonings were put on top. But the more you eat it, the more delicious it becomes. The whole person was extremely relaxed. The biggest problem for him, perhaps I just missed the child a little. I wonder how my family members have been doing these days. I really want to bring them here for an experience. Bent is now addicted to collecting firewood. She hasn't rinsed for a long time. It feels like the hair is in a mess. It's necessary to find some time to clean up. The fish has been cooked on Jacob's side. It doesn't look very good, but when put in mouth, it smells incredibly good. I highly recommend everyone to come and have a taste with my real name. The challenge has reached the 15th day. Charlotte's toe was very uncomfortable due to frostbite. I have had such an experience before. There will still be professionals handling it then. Nothing now. I don't even know how to handle it well. The challenge has entered winter. It will become more and more difficult next, especially in terms of obtaining food. Days like Bent catching fish with fishing nets. It's likely to become less and less in the future. In fact, if the ice could be thicker, they can try fishing in the deep water area. At present, only Bent can place the net properly. If fish could be caught, then she has a better chance of getting the bonus than other contestants. Charlotte is in great pain even when she walks now. If there are no unexpected circumstances, she probably won't be able to hold on and go home these days. Even if the fishing net catches as many fish as it can, none of them can make frostbite better. Not to mention that he didn't catch any fish. There are only these berries left near Jacob. Other places were all covered with snow. This means he can only obtain food by fishing, even if someone like Jesse stockpiled fish in advance. I'm also worried about not getting the food before finishing the meal. The program team is worried that the contestants won't be able to hold on after winter sets in. It's also arranged for someone to come for a physical examination. Bennett feels quite well. It's just that this finger hurts a little after it gets cold. She doesn't know how it was caused either. It was only when I suddenly saw it that I realized it. Bennett has limited tools at hand. It wasn't handled very well. It needs the doctor's help to clean it up. I hope it won't be eliminated due to wound infection. The frostbite on Charlotte's toe was more serious. Doctors are also powerless about this. I wonder if I will be forcibly persuaded to leave because of this. Let's wait and see together. I originally thought that the big shot could catch fish every day, and the meat can be stored for a longer time through smoking. Then one can eat and drink well in the wild. Take the challenge, by the way, to win $1 million prize. I didn't expect there to be experts here. Fishing rods are not needed at all for catching fish. When hungry, just wander around nearby. Bao could be seen lying down. It's easy to pick up, and there's meat to eat. Those contestants who got food by pulling nets into the water. I'm afraid it will break my defenses when I see it. I have no idea where the program team found this wilderness master. The small life is getting better and better. The challenge has reached the 15th day. Jacob is resting and making bread by the stove. He didn't expect the program team to come. Could it be that they came to snatch the bread to eat? The doctor just smiled and said nothing. It seems that Jacob is not in good condition. I lost 10 pounds in just 1 week. It would be strange if the body could hold on at this rate. He, however, had a relaxed and indifferent look on his face. He also said that losing another 10 pounds would be no problem. And after Bennett's finger was cleaned, it's indeed much better. One can continue to enjoy the wilderness survival challenge again. The one in better condition is definitely Jesse. The fish meat hanging in the shelter. It is the motivation for him to keep on challenging. The only problem is missing home. I often feel down because of loneliness. Overall, there is no big problem. The worst must be Charlotte. Even doctors can't deal with frostbite. It's only a matter of time before I'm persuaded to quit. My mood was quite low. I have lost about 10 pounds in weight. For now, all we can do is encourage her to keep going. I hope that when you really can't hold on any longer, you'll remember to call the program team. Although Charlotte was not persuaded to leave, but the situation of the feet is still not optimistic, besides warming oneself by the fire. More importantly, eat more food to replenish energy. However, after winter sets in, the lakes all start to freeze. It is not easy to obtain food. Let's take a look at how the contestants got through it. People like Jesse have fish to eat. It's not very anxious. Anyway, it's fine to get the food before finishing the meat. He thinks he is quite capable. Amir Chill is nothing to boast about. Ben also likes winter very much. Often runs out to play when it snows. In order to express how much one likes it, it is necessary to show in front of the camera. Although I don't know what she is singing, but one can sense her happiness. I just miss the days when I was with everyone a little. Here, only some boiled water can be drunk. I really miss the joy of drinking wheat drinks freely. Charlotte tried every possible way to make her life better. Besides coming to collect firewood, I have been striving to explore the surroundings. Hope to find food to fill one's stomach. I never expected that a rat would actually come to my door. Fortunately, I discovered it early. How about this fish being gnawed? Perhaps a trap could be set up to catch and eat. Worried that rats will stain the flour. The best storage place must be the stomach. Hurry up and cook. Anyway, just make it in a dough, spread it out, and bake it until done. It smells particularly nice. It's simply a perfect match with fish. It is suggested that bakeries can give it a try. It is guaranteed to become the favorite of wilderness lovers. Jacob doesn't have much affection for snow. Even the berries were covered. The ways to obtain food are becoming fewer and fewer. One can only return to the shelter and lie down to rest. Just look at the air he exhales. Just know how low the temperature is now, right? Collect firewood every day. It would be strange if the body could get better. The challenge has reached the 16th day. Jesse is going to introduce a little trick for the wild to everyone. It is very important to have a lip balm in winter. The program team does not allow it to be carried, but we can make it by ourselves. In fact, it's just wrapped in a piece of gauze. It has no technical content at all. The difficulty lies in how to obtain fat. It's just a little on the fish meat. However, it works well when applied to the lips. From time to time, I can still lick it to satisfy my craving. He thinks he is really very smart. Let's see if we can get more food to eat later. Charlotte went nearby to look for food. Previously, she buried the part she didn't eat in the ground. I didn't expect that there was still something coming to look for food. If I'm not mistaken, it should be a fox. If there is a chance to catch it, can it be eaten? The lake on Jessine's side has frozen. Fortunately, the other one had no influence. He can continue to be a fisherman here. Just as imagined, the fish all came here. Just fish casually, and there will be goods coming up. Something like this is enough for me to eat for several days. Ben also came to the lake to try fishing. Can any kind of fish be fine for her? It's just that I haven't managed to get any food to eat recently. There is a serious suspicion that it was targeted for having a smooth start. I'm planning to upgrade the fishing rod. See if fish can be attracted over. Install the rotating ring and pair it with the flash. The bag can charm a fish. The tools that the contestants can carry are limited. Bentner carefully selected and brought it. It was enough for her to conquer the lake. It is mainly attracted by this kind of fake bait. See if there is any effect after the upgrade. Throw the fish hook into the lake neatly and cleanly. Is there any problem with the feel? It just takes more time to catch fish. I've been in the Air Force recently. My mood was extremely low. Try to throw to the farthest place. Then there was no movement at all. Could it be that all the schools of fish have run to other places? Now, we can only keep changing the fake bait. Look here, which kind would the fish like? Bent even went into the water to observe, but the results still remained unchanged. How happy I was in the early stage. How uncomfortable it is right now. Jacob is going to enhance the comfort level a little today. Make a bed to improve your sleep quality. First of all, it is definitely necessary to find a suitable dead branch. It doesn't need to be too thick either. It's about right like this. Every time I bend down and stand up, I feel dizzy and short of oxygen. The problem of physical weakness is getting worse day by day. It is difficult to obtain a large amount of food in the short term. He didn't dare to exert too much force at once either. I'm really afraid of suddenly fainting and never waking up again. Just collect these materials. The heart just can't stop dancing. Jacob had to press the pause button for a break. The doctor said that he was weak and needed food, but the reality does not allow it. Most of the time, I still worked on an empty stomach. Even making a bed is extremely exhausting. Jesse was outside, warming himself by the fire while enjoying the scenery. I specially packed fish pieces here to taste. This is how the challenge should be for him. Enjoy delicious food while constantly breaking through oneself. Although I don't know how the other contestants are doing, but probably no one is more comfortable than him. The other contestants are indeed not as good as Jesse. Every day, one has to endure hunger and cold. One still has to find a way to get through loneliness and solitude. It's really the case that as soon as I stop, I start to have random thoughts. It feels like every second is so difficult to pass. I really want to go home and give my family a hug. I often come across my videos, and my friends all know about them. The camera shows such a homesick contestant. Most minds can't bear it and are about to give up. Does everyone think Jesse can stay until the end? The challenge has reached the 17th day. Charlotte woke up feeling just SOSO. The chirping of birds can also be heard nearby. It's even quieter here in Jesse. Take your beloved fishing rod and go fishing. I don't know if it's because of his superb skills. There are still more fish here. Anyway, as long as he comes, he is sure to gain something. The size might not be that big, but there are fish roe inside that can be eaten. Jesse was quite happy originally. I never expected that there would be a little mouse in my stomach. Good grief. The fish here are really hungry. However, it also proves that there are more rats nearby. Perhaps one could try to set a trap and catch it to eat. Now he just wants to enjoy the fish roe to the fullest. There's only a little dough left to eat here at Bent. If you don't work harder later, you'll catch the fish. I'm afraid my body can't hold on. But to be honest, the flour provided by the program team is indeed good. In an instant, I felt my stomach warm, although there's a shortage of food. But the mental state is indeed good. I still have the mood to perform the dance there.
My anaconda.
Charlotte took the fishing rod to the lake. A layer of ice has already formed all around. Look, this thickness is getting thicker day by day. There will be even less chance to go fishing in the future. If the ice cubes here are cleared away, then she probably doesn't need her toes. Now, the only option is to try fishing on the shore. Hope this bait can bring good luck. Problems have to be dealt with like this every day. Are you sure your body can really hold on? Passive ice fishing like this is really not very effective. It is suggested to try somewhere else. Otherwise, come and learn from Jacob. While breaking the ice, look for the frozen fish. Isn't it much faster than fishing? No sooner had he finished speaking than he said he had found a small fish. It's really simple and easy. It's just not very friendly to the feet. Anyway, is it good to have meat to eat? I originally just want to clear this place up, by the way. I didn't expect to find another fish. And the ones caught on the fishing net side are even larger. What day is it today? Jacob became rich instantly. Just keep it up like this. Isn't the bonus a piece of cake? Bent didn't give up the challenge. I'm planning to explore the nearby area. Hope to find new sources of food. There hasn't been much dry firewood since it snowed. Like now, when you come across a pine tree, you must hold on to it. These are enough for oneself to burn for some time. She is not good at using an axe. Every time I use it, I'm afraid of hurting myself. Cut it vertically as much as possible, and the legs must be spread out. This way it will move much faster. The problem is that the body consumes more energy. If all these pine trees were packed up and taken away, I'm really afraid that she will collapse to the ground from exhaustion. I just didn't expect that Bente became more and more excited as he cut. There is a serious suspicion that she mistook the pine tree for something else. The ice layer on Jesse's side has become somewhat thick. I guess I can go ice fishing in a while longer. Be more confident of catching more fish to eat. Jacob's hands are extremely cold now. It can only be stuffed into the warmest place. He doesn't want to be so lecherous in front of the camera either. But this is indeed a very effective method. In just a few minutes, my fingers felt much better. The problem is getting more and more confusing. We have to hurry back to the camp to warm ourselves by the fire. He didn't choose to cook fish to eat. Just get into the sleeping bag to keep warm. One can imagine how weak this body is. Charlotte has been observing the condition of the fishing line. The most terrifying thing is that when it freezes, it needs to be treated in water. If one can catch big fish like other players, then there will be sufficient energy to adapt to the environment. She doesn't have to worry like this either. There is less and less food available nearby. I have a premonition that I'm about to go home. If one could catch fish like Jesse and smoke them, it feels fine to stay for a while. At first, he was still worried about messing up the fish meat. I never thought smoking would be so simple. In fact, as long as the flame does not come into direct contact with the meat, remove moisture through smoking and heat. Meat can be stored for at least a few more months. How did he resist eating it when it was so delicious? The lake water here in Bent is not frozen. There is a premonition that the fish will bump into the net. Pull it out of the water quickly and have a look. Just as imagined, there's indeed a big fish lying there. Hurry up and take it out to have a look. This size is enough for me to eat for a week. I never expected that good days would come again so soon. In order to ensure that this fish can be stored for a longer time, Bentner rushed back to the camp immediately and put him in a cage. Then just take it to the lake to keep. When I'm hungry, I can catch it and eat it. She was thinking quite happily. Aren't you afraid that something unexpected might happen to the fish? It seems that Jesse is more reliable when it comes to the smoky style. Looking at him in such a relaxed state, it's hard to imagine the challenge of living alone in the wilderness. Only when I miss my son, it will reveal a sad expression. If one can't go home with a bonus, it would be even more regrettable to miss the days when one's son grew up. The more I think about it, the more uncomfortable I feel. Sometimes I even forget what my family members look like. For him, loneliness is more unbearable than hunger. Bennett originally thought of making the fish live longer. Unexpectedly, it just gave up and said it was no longer alive. Bennett was so angry that he could only deal with it in tears. As usual, he picked up the stone and called it at his head. Where's the safest place to put such a big fish? She only thought it would be better in her womb. Fish roe was found during the processing. The nutritional value of this is quite high. Just eating fish roe is enough for me to stay for one more day. It is much more delicious than imagined. The fishy smell can almost be ignored. The mood is extremely good. In fact, Bennett doesn't have much experience in wilderness survival. It's all about cramming and learning at the last minute before the challenge. I never expected it to go so smoothly. If those contestants who were eliminated early could hear it, I'm afraid I'll be so angry that I can't sleep all night. Charlotte baked the final dough. She has lost all the strength to strive. It seems that I should be going home soon. Jacob felt much better after his rest. Finally, I have time to deal with the fish. Put the small fish directly into the pot and wait to be cooked. Big fish are kept fresh on ice. He thinks he's going to live a good life. I just miss my father a little. This house number was made especially for him. After all, most of my survival skills, it was all taught by the father hand in hand since childhood. If there were no his guidance, I'm afraid I won't be able to stay for a week. I really want my father to experience it too. Taste the fresh fish meat again. It feels like I come back to life. Sure enough, the more fish there are, the better. Like Jesse, he falls asleep every night smelling the aroma of meat. For him, happiness is so simple. Bent even jumped to the disco directly. So having meat to eat is happiness. Just stuff the meat directly into your mouth and let cool down. The rich juice is simply irresistible. The fragrance was so strong that she began to cheer. I was this happy last time. It was still the day of the wedding banquet, just like coming to take on the challenge. Perhaps there is only one chance in life, so enjoy it to the fullest. Make memories more beautiful. The challenge has reached the 18th day. After Jacob was nourished by the fish meat, now it feels like being energetic. I just found quite a few berries here. It's particularly delicious, sweet, and sour. Try to collect as many as possible and take them back. Don't think that this can only provide a little sugar, but it can provide energy for the brain. I won't be dizzy all day long either. The small life is getting more and more comfortable. Charlotte is feeling much better here. I really regret not making good use of the fish I caught at the beginning. If one eats in a planned way, she wouldn't be so hungry now either. Go to the lakeside to see if there is any harvest. But is the reality that there is nothing at all? We still have to find a way to get things done. Bennett thinks for a while before going out every time. Think about what kind of work to do later. Avoid wasting physical strength on other things. Jesse's plan is much simpler. Let's have a piece of meat first to wake myself up. Meat that has been smoked is fragrant. He is quite unaccustomed to having meat in the shelter. Because Jessie often encounters bears in her job, having meat by your side is no different from seducing a bear. He is quite obsessed with bears. Almost everything at home is related to bears. I dream of sleeping with it in my arms. Sometimes when being a guide, one may encounter bears, although I like it very much, but it is also kept within the safe range. And spray on the bear repellent spray. Jesse quite likes this exciting feeling. Everyone is welcome to come and experience it with him. It's a pity that I didn't see any bears at the challenging place. Otherwise, I really want to take a group photo and go home. Ben came to the lake and began his fishing life. The good news is that there's no ice problem here. The bad news is that fish hooks often get stuck in trees. It's particularly troublesome every time it's dealt with. It's a waste of time and energy on this. Now, she's not in the mood to go fishing either. Go back to the shelter and have a rest. Jesse is wandering around outside. There's nothing in particular that you want to do either. I just don't like staying in the camp. Recalling before the child was born, I run out almost every day. I especially like the feeling of freedom, looking forward to all kinds of unexpected events. And the challenge is much more lonely. There isn't even a person to talk to. Talking to oneself in front of the camera every day. People with a poor mindset would have broken down long ago. Charlotte returns empty-handed every day. I really don't know how she can hold on. It's that time again when I'm so hungry every day that I doubt my life. Hunger can only be relieved by hot water. The challenge has reached the 19th day. The environment has changed greatly. The temperature is so low that it can freeze water bottles. The amount of firewood consumed every day is quite large. It can be said that the contestants are not going to chop firewood. It's on the way to cut firewood. Like Jesse, after lighting the fire, he grilled the fish to eat. Although only these could be eaten every day. But he doesn't feel bored at all. Even the fish bones were eaten crispy. I highly recommend everyone to come and enjoy it. It really gets more and more delicious the more you eat it. The ice layer on Jacob's side is thick enough. There is no problem at all standing on it. What no one expected was, he found again that there were fish lying under the ice. So, it is impossible to go fishing. Isn't it better to pick up fish directly? Bent went to the shore to inspect the fishing nets. The ice layer here is not thick enough. One should be especially careful when walking. If one slips and falls on the head by accident, I'm afraid the banquet can start right on the spot. Good grief. I fell on my knee as soon as I finished speaking. It's extremely painful now. I don't know if it will affect the subsequent challenges. Charlotte's body couldn't hold it any longer. We can only call the program team to come and take her home. If it hadn't frozen so early, I can still hold on for a while longer. However, the frostbite on the toe side cannot be relieved. Sooner or later, she will have to give up the challenge. Anyway, is this a magical experience? Charlotte doesn't think there's anything to regret, as she withdrew from the challenge. Only 3 people remain on the field. At present, Jesse has a good chance of winning. Whether it is the physical condition, still in terms of food storage, they're all much stronger than other contestants. Do you all think Jesse can win the bonus? Let's wait and see together. Rather than being a survival challenge in the wild, they are more like competing in fishing. Every time, a big fish can be caught. This really made those fishing buddies cry with envy. The most exaggerated thing is that someone has stockpiled quite a lot of meat, but still insisted on catching fish. Expand the advantages further. Do you all think he can win the bonus? The challenge has reached the 19th day. Bennett didn't expect that someone would visit it late at night. On closer inspection, it should be a mink. It's a pity that hunting is not allowed locally. Otherwise, I would have rushed up just now. This mink is not afraid of people at all. Instead, it's closer to Bent. If this is bitten by accident, it would be bad if one were infected with malaria. Hurry up and drive the mink away to avoid being upset. Bent was worried that it would come every day later. No matter how much food is stockpiled here, it won't be enough to eat. Jacob is about to go outside to release the flood. So beautiful under the night sky. Do you feel that everything you do is particularly smooth and enjoyable? The scenery is beautiful indeed. It's just too cold outside. They have stayed here for 20 days. Bennett protected the fish very well last night. In order to prevent the mink from coming to harass again, I can only eat more with tears in my eyes. Seal the lid better, then store it in an ice pack. Tie it up again with a rope. This can be eaten. She directly washed her hair upside down. Since Jesse finished making the bed, the quality of his sleep has been rising sharply. The temperature is still quite low now. Try to collect as much firewood as possible and take it back. It feels so good to have fire to keep warm. Bennett was already quite annoyed when he was harassed by minks. I never expected that the wood here would bring bad news again. These are not the berries she hoarded. Obviously, some animals have taken this place as their own. It would be fine if it were a small animal. I'm just afraid that large animals will also come to join the fun. Bent thought this was a gift from heaven. Whether one eats or not, one has to face animal harassment. It's better to cheer up the stomach first. Collect these first. If I can have a little every day. My mood is also quite good. Jacob was fed up with lying on the ground. I'm going to make a bed to make myself more comfortable. He tried before as well, but I wasn't in good health at that time. I feel tired as soon as I bend down. Now it is supplemented by food. It feels much better. First, nail the branches into the ground. Then stack the other materials together. Don't be fooled by its seemingly simple appearance. The trimming process was really tiring. It was dealt with there almost the entire afternoon. Bennett originally intended to collect more firewood, but the sound of minks around was heard. She knew and ran over to look for food again. Now I can only look around and have a look. That mink wasn't afraid at all in front of the camera. Bent tried to drive it out. The effect is not very good. Instead, it made the mink excited. It's been a battle of wits all day long. The problem is that one can neither hit nor scold. It really frustrated Bent. Jesse fetched some water to clean it up a little. It's been a long time since I've felt this comfortable. He still didn't forget to pick up the mirror and have a look. Sure enough, even in the wild, one should be refined. The water has already turned into other colors. He was still thinking of finding something to make tea. Benta couldn't catch minks. The only option is to take out the food first. Its unrestrained appearance completely enraged people. Put the food directly into the fish cage. Catch the mink as soon as it gets in. The idea is quite good, and the problem is not blind either. Such a big shovel is waiting there. Even so, I couldn't resist going in to smell it. Bent was just about to go forward and tidy up. Unexpectedly, the mink directly bit open a hole. Good grief. I didn't catch anything. He even made himself extremely angry. Now it can only be placed on a tree to be slightly safer. Jesse began to lie down and rest again. His strategy is to minimize consumption as much as possible. Make sure every piece of fat is used where it counts. I like sleeping outside when I'm at home. Feel the changes of the weather in nature. One's own children also like such a life. The days at home were very warm and happy. It was the first time that he had been apart from his family for such a long time. I ask myself every day when I stop, how will they get along at home? What should be done if there's a problem? My mood began to feel down. Now, one can only hide in the shelter to rest. Hope we can reunite in our dreams. Jacob is still making beds. This is much more difficult than imagined. Almost everyone needs to be trimmed manually. It's really impossible to be less patient. After a day's efforts, finally, the bed was made. The cushion was laid with deerskin. It must be very comfortable to lie on it. Ben was disgusted by the mink. I dare not sleep too soundly at night. I've been waiting there for the mink to come in. The challenge has reached the 21st day. Jacob went out for a walk before dawn. He still quite likes the environment here. It means enduring hunger and cold every day. It's really a bit discouraging. Jesse was fed up with the wind outside. Sleeping that was not comfortable at all. Snow also began to fall. The challenging environment is getting worse and worse. Seize the time to optimize and upgrade the shelter. The main problem lies with this one. It's bad enough to let the wind in. I didn't expect the sound produced to be so loud. It really affects the quality of sleep too much. It was improved through Jesse's efforts. The sound of vibration has decreased significantly. There is no need to worry about being woken up in the middle of the night anymore. The mood is extremely good. Reward yourself with a whole piece of fish. Bennett didn't notice the mink coming last night. I slept so comfortably. Prepare something to eat first to replenish energy. If it weren't that mink's problem, the food wouldn't be in such a mess either. I really don't understand why it is so bad. Rather come to steal food than hunt in person. There's a piece of fish missing here for no reason. Good grief. I have no idea how it was stolen. I didn't feel any movement at all last night. Bente was so angry that he could only eat more fish roe. As the weather gets colder and colder, it is particularly troublesome to light a fire every day. Either the material is hard to burn or the fingers are frozen stiff. Making a fire every day is also quite tormenting. Jesse didn't think of it. There will be animals that want to crawl in as guests. Fortunately, I have upgraded the shelter. It's not that easy to get in. Jacob's stomach had been growling with hunger long ago. I'm planning to find some fish to eat by the stream. For safety's sake, the gentleman was very angry by the shore, even if one accidentally falls into the water. He can also avoid hypothermia after getting ashore. Keep breaking the ice layer with a wooden stick. My luck isn't very good today. The existence of fish has never been discovered. Jesse didn't have a very good rest. Sleeping bags are not as warm as before. Once I have free time, I really want to go back and be with my family. One must find something to do for oneself. The wind was very strong at night. It was so noisy that I couldn't even fall asleep. Get some old people into their ears. It plays a slight role in isolation. Go nearby and see if there are any better options. Jacob has been looking for a long time, but hasn't found any fish. My mood was quite low. He didn't expect that he wouldn't come for just 2 days. All the food vanished at once. I'm a little worried about the days ahead. The body is getting weaker day by day. I really want to go back and stay with my girlfriend. Would you eat whatever you want then? How could it be as uncomfortable as it is now? Every day, I don't have enough to eat or sleep. It would be strange if my mood could get better. Bennett doesn't like these shoes very much. Thinking of laying the ground ahead. Why can't we just take off our shoes and walk inside? Jesse took the emergency gauze to make tea bags. This can relax the mind and improve the mood. A lot of the materials collected before haven't been used yet. He was thinking about how to make his life better. I don't want to be wasted like this. Apart from being a little homesick, Jesse is getting more and more adapted to the environment here. Jacob has little food left in his stock. I plan to have something to eat every day to maintain my health. I don't know how many contestants are left either. Why hasn't it ended yet? I don't believe anyone can live a better life here than him. Hope it ends soon and I can go back to be with my girlfriend. The challenge has reached the 22nd day. It began to rain again. It caused the smell in Jesse's shelter to be extremely bad. It feels like living in a cesspool. The most outrageous thing is that there are even minks coming in to steal food like this. Fortunately, it was placed relatively high. Only in this way can the food be prevented from being ruined. I didn't really want to deal with it at first. It's just that the mink can't get the meat and urinates randomly here. The shelter is really a bit uncomfortable. It would be best if mink could be roasted to suppress the flavor. Jacob's mood is not very good. Today is the day for the physical examination again. My weight was a bit dangerous last time. I'm worried that I'll be forcibly persuaded to leave this time. Jesse was in the mood to set it up there. The inspection can be carried out here shortly. He thinks this is quite good. It won't make the atmosphere so oppressive. Soon, people from the program team came to check. Bennett didn't wake up until he heard the sound. This inspection is the same as usual. It mainly depends on body weight and cardiopulmonary function. She has only lost 2 pounds, but is already very healthy. Jacob lost 6 pounds directly. However, it is still within the safe range. Jesse looks the healthiest. I never expected to lose 2 pounds in one day. If this goes on, he will be the most likely to be sent away. One must collect more food to eat. The contestants all miss their families very much. Asked many times how many people are left on the field. The doctor always smiles but says nothing every time. After a simple inspection and communication, the contestants are all in good mental condition. If the food problem can be solved, it doesn't matter to stay for another month. Jesse still felt a little sad. I've been working so hard myself, but still it's impossible to keep the weight stable. More time has to be spent on fishing. Strive to catch food every day. It just seems that there is something wrong with one's mental state. Jacob misses his girlfriend more and more. He knew that this was not conducive to the challenge. But what way is there to get rid of the longing? The challenge has reached the 23rd day. Jesse is going to eat more fish every day. One can't let the weight drop so exaggeratedly any longer. There isn't much food hoarded either. If there is no income anymore later, I can't hold on for too long either. Anyway, let's go fishing and have a look first. In fact, things that everyone doesn't know. Most of the scenes of the contestants have been cut. They do a lot of things every day. It's not about lying down from day to night. The road here is not very easy to walk on. Don't you think there will be a problem? The inside of the shoes is probably completely soaked through. My fingers are extremely cold now. Jacob finally attacked the little fish. Just put it directly into the pot to boil. Although there isn't much meat on it, but it's still better than drinking water. Before coming here, I referred to the equipment of quite a few players. Learn through repeated observation. A detailed and reliable plan has been made. I originally thought the challenge wasn't that difficult. As long as one can endure hunger in the early stage, that's fine. It was only after I came here that I understood. No matter how much food one eats, it cannot stop the longing. Not to mention that he can't even have enough to eat now. The mental state is even worse. Bennett hasn't caught any fish for 6 days either. The stockpiled food is also not much left. I'm just afraid that after eating it, there won't be any new supplements yet. The mood was quite bad. Jesse is wearing a little too few trousers today. It feels chilly down there, but he has good luck today. It didn't take long before a fish was caught. The mood is extremely good. I thought it was just one. Unexpectedly, another fish came up. What day on earth is it today? He caught 3 fish within half an hour, shouting excitedly there. It feels like Jesse has a good chance of winning the bonus. Jacob was not willing to be outdone either. I knocked on the ice everywhere and finally found fish. Although there is water inside the shoes now. But being able to catch such big fish, everything is worth it. There are still fish waiting over the fishing net. The harvest today was quite rich. Only Bente failed to catch it. It seems that her good days are coming to an end. I could only return to the camp to rest, physically and mentally exhausted. On the way back, I unexpectedly found birch mushroom. Take this to make water and drink. The taste is similar to coffee. The trace elements contained inside. It can restore some energy to the body. She would rather not catch any fish than have this water to drink. I'm in an extremely good mood now. Try to collect as many as possible and take them back for storage. I was almost moved to tears. Jesse is checking the inventory here. I used to cry poor in front of the camera every day. I didn't expect there to be a pile of meat here. Sure enough, a man's mouth is a liar. Not a single punctuation mark can be trusted. The resin here is a good thing. It can not only be used to treat wounds, it can also be eaten like chewing gum. As for the taste, don't ask anymore. It can only be said that there's a kind of natural fragrance. Jesse's expression became more and more strange the more he chewed. Suddenly, I saw a reindeer passing by. It's a pity that the program team doesn't allow waiting for bows and arrows. Otherwise, I would have rushed over to hunt long ago. Jacob began to enjoy the grilled fish. It was considered stable for him. Just wait for the others to be unable to hold on and go home first. The challenge has reached the 24th day. Bent can't even catch fish with a fishing net now. I really can't think of any way to fill my stomach. She felt that she was forcing herself to go home. I have been in a state of failure recently. No matter how optimistic she is still affected. Every time the fishing rod is cast, the fishing line gets caught. If there are no unexpected circumstances, something unexpected is coming. Bennett didn't expect that even fishing would be so unlucky. Fish meat is definitely not something to be expected today. We can only eat some tree bark nearby. Remember to choose the tender ones that can be scraped off. This will be a little easier to swallow after being cooked. Jesse starts eating from this old piece of meat. Don't get tired of it after leaving it for a while. The taste is getting more and more flavorful. He also prepared crispy fish bones. It tastes just like French fries. It's crispy when you take a bite. As a wilderness survival coach, he has eaten many interesting ingredients. I dare not say that all the flavors are delicious, but it must have the unique fragrance of nature. Jesse prefers fresh insects. It has a creamy aroma when eaten. I'm sure I'll be delicious with these fish bones. There's a little less food for him here. Jacob found berries to eat. This sweet and delicious thing. You really can't get tired of it no matter how much you eat it. Sugar can make the brain work faster. It is very helpful for the upcoming challenges. Jesse even crawled all the way over to eat, afraid of missing anything to eat. Berries are good, but eating too many is not good either, especially when they have poor stomachs and intestines. It's very easy to have a bloated stomach and become even weaker instead. Jacob understood all the reasoning, but he just kept eating. Jesse has already eaten his fill over there. The mood is extremely good. Are there any other animals fertilizing here? Anyway, he really didn't taste it. The only thing Ben can eat now is this bark. These just smell okay. When it's cooked, you'll know how outrageous it is. It can be said to have no flavor at all, and it will also increase the burden on the stomach and intestines. Hope you don't fall down after eating. Now you can take the bark and boil it. It will probably take about 3 more hours. Jesse thinks the biggest problem now. I just miss my family very much and want to go home. If it can't be suppressed, it's no use eating as much as you like. I hope I can hold on for a few more days. The challenge has reached the 25th day. Bent rewards himself with a cup of coffee. It's no wonder it's a special edition for the wild. It just tastes good. I highly recommend everyone to come and have a taste with my real name. Jesse has been trying to cheer himself up. It's too boring to lie in a shelter. It's still necessary to walk around outside. I'm really curious how he keeps so energetic. Quite a few bones were found on the road. It's a pity that there is no meat on it. Otherwise, it's not bad to take it back and boil it, although it is not known what animal did it. But he wasn't panicked at all. What's more, they even started playing in front of the camera. The mental state is indeed better than before. Originally, Bent just wanted to come and take a chance. I never expected to catch a big fish. While dealing with it, she was thinking about what to do next. Divide the fish into as many sections as possible. This way, one can hold on for a few more days. Not to mention that there is bark that can be eaten. There's really a chance to make it to the end. Who do you think has a chance to win the bonus? Let's wait and see together. It is said that female players living alone in the wilderness are not competent enough. She caught 4 barracudas directly. There is no skill at all. Just shake it casually and one comes up. It made the people next door who were fishing for the Air Force extremely envious. How delicious this fish is after cooking. I believe that friends who have eaten it all know. She can still carry a broadsword and dance it. This strength is beyond doubt. Of course, those who can be her opponents are no ordinary ones either. The food is also top-notch in the wilderness. Everything exudes an alluring scent. I don't know if I should sign up now. Is there still a chance to have a bite? The challenge has reached its 26th day. Bent was so angry that his face turned black. It's just that the fishing net froze in the water. She's going down to smash the ice cubes. Only then can the fishing net be brought back to the shore. The water was so cold that it gave her goosebumps. It took a lot of effort to get it done. It's just that the leg abrasion is a bit uncomfortable. Hurry up and put on your clothes to keep warm. She plans to take some stones back to make the floor. This way it can both keep warm and reflect heat. It will definitely warm up the shelter. The volume of work is much larger than expected. I also move a little bit every day. It is the accumulation of small efforts that makes the shelter better. I want this stone to be laid flat and look good. The ground has to be cleaned up first, then organize and arrange them properly. Only in this way can the stone play its greatest role. Jacob's fingers were so cold that they almost lost all sensation. I wish I could be stuffed into the fire and roasted. Such days are really unbearable, but one still has to keep striving and persisting. There's an urgent need for food to fill our stomachs now. It'd be best to catch more fish, but the problem has already been frozen here. Neither the fishing rod nor the fishing net could function properly. I haven't smelled the aroma of meat for 4 days. My stomach had long been growling with hunger. He didn't expect the challenge to be so difficult. I'm really curious about how the other contestants passed. Jessin was also extremely cold by the weather. I plan to spend some time creating a new framework. It's nice to have a place to rest like this. It's not yet winter. Preparations must be made in advance. The cut was caused by not wearing gloves during handling. Jessin still underestimated the impact of this temperature. Otherwise, one wouldn't have made such a low-level mistake. There's no time to keep complaining. There's still a bunch of things to do after this framework is done. Tie up the tree trunk well for support. I originally thought it would be done soon. I didn't expect to cut my hand just now. Now, the leg has been sawn off again. In the past, that was something I wouldn't even dare to imagine. Hunger combined with cold was a double torment. Both the body and the mind have been exhausted to the extreme. I really want to ask how many people are left in the program team. Why hasn't the challenge ended yet? Jacob saw that it was almost dark. I originally planned to go back to the camp to rest, but just then, I heard some movement in the water. Let's go and see what's going on. Perhaps there are kind-hearted fish that want to be delivered to your door. Then there was nothing. There's a serious suspicion that the auditory hallucinations were caused by hunger. It's still more comfortable for Bent. The area around the fire was already covered with stones. The entire shelter was as warm as a stove. She was even afraid that she would wake up from the heat in the middle of the night. Next, just think more about the food issue. The challenge has reached its 27th day. Jesse woke up and went outside. First, ask if there is any food to be delivered to your door. It was obvious that there was only a growling response. Anyway, stay optimistic. Bentina's shelter is warm indeed, but the firewood is also consumed very quickly. It needs to be cut down and stored up every day. First, boil water over the entire fire and drink it. It didn't burn very fast. It will take some time. She also wants to dry the sleeping bag. Incidentally, high-temperature sterilization and disinfection are carried out. We need to be careful about this. If it's lit, it's all over. This sleeping bag is really heavy. Even a little smoke makes my hands extremely tired. There's a bird strolling over the firewood. It would be great if I had a bow and arrow in my hand. One can also have more opportunities to obtain food. Now it's time to tidy up the firewood properly. Set up a barrier to keep out the cold wind. Jacob started the ice-breaking operation again. See if there are any beautiful frozen fish inside. After all the twists and turns, there was only a little fish there, but it's still better than having nothing at all. It must be that he has not consumed as much energy as he has. So I can't say I'm particularly happy. Jacob felt that just eating was not enough. I need to collect some more berries to eat. The current strategy is to starve as much as possible. Wait until your body can't take it anymore before eating. It must be pushed to the limit with all its might. Now I just feel dizzy and weak in my limbs. The problem is not very big. He thought the other contestants were more or less the same. It all depends on whose body fat is thicker. Every time Jesse goes out, he brings back a lot of firewood. My body feels increasingly tired. Go back and fry and grill half a fish until it's done. It looks very fresh. It all depends on the fish and meat hoarded earlier. It is only by myself that I have been able to persist until now. Don't think there are as many as 10 pieces. In fact, there's really not much to eat freely. I control the portion size I take in every day. Look at the happy expression on his face. You can tell how much you love this taste, right? I couldn't help but start singing again. Jacob's fish is much smaller. He didn't mind either. After roasting it, he put it directly in his mouth. Not even the bones were spared. My stomach feels much better. It's just that the feeling of hunger hasn't vanished. I really miss the freedom of having meat at every meal when I was at home. There's also food to eat in bed. The fish is frozen so hard. It will still take some time to cook thoroughly. Judging from the current situation, she still has quite a chance of winning the bonus. I can upgrade the tavern when I go back then. Since marriage, does she do everything together with her husband? Like this time, coming to take part in the challenge. He was very supportive. It has provided myself with quite a few useful suggestions. I really want to go back and get together as soon as possible. The feeling of loneliness is really uncomfortable. Talking to oneself in front of the camera every day. Sooner or later, I'll drive myself crazy. The challenge has reached the 28th day. Jesse now has to use an axe to break water. It will be even more troublesome when winter comes. Bent felt the pressure getting greater and greater. I was so hungry that I even wanted to eat the earthworm bait. It would be great if we could catch fish to eat. Fortunately, it hasn't frozen here yet. At least there's no need to go into the water to clear the ice cubes. Sitting there, missing the delicious food at home. I've lived on my own for so long. It's the first time I felt so hungry. Now I feel listless when doing work. I feel like I can't hold on any longer. The production team is also quite considerate. Knowing that the lake was frozen, the contestants couldn't break through. Tools were specially sent to facilitate ice fishing. Look at this ice fishing saw. Just by looking at it, you can tell it's not simple. Because it is too sharp, be especially careful when using it. Everyone is very satisfied with this new weapon. Bent also showed it to everyone. Justina's body was getting thinner and thinner. He hasn't cleaned his body for a long time. It feels like the clothes have all been marinated to the fullest. But just wash your face clean. It's still acceptable. I usually spray some perfume myself. For now, we can only try to smoke as much as possible to disperse the flavor. The clothes inside haven't been washed either. Just one sniff is more delicious than the lungs. Bent was indeed a bit tired. Stay in the shelter and have a good rest. Such cold weather. She doesn't like to clean up either, unless it's about breaking the ice in water. But it's not as exaggerated as Jessen's. He is very eager to know how the other contestants are doing. Why hasn't the challenge ended yet? Jacob only had this little bit of flour left. After eating, you'll just go hungry. It looks like this after being roasted over the fire. It smells not bad. If you are as hungry as him, I just knew how delicious this bread was. It's a pity that all the berries nearby have been eaten up. Otherwise, it would be even more delicious if made into jam. I recommend a bakery under my real name to give it a try. I'm sure I'll buy all of them and take them home to eat. It's a pity that such delicious food is gone after being eaten. Jesse quite likes the environment here. The most beautiful place is the toilet at home. I usually fertilize there. Look if all the trees have become stronger. In order to know the changes in the body, he keeps a good record every day. Even the number of farts they let out is counted. My physical condition is not optimistic. It's not as regular as when I first came. I was extremely anxious. The challenge has reached the 29th day. Bennett woke up and went to check if the fishing line was in stock. Unfortunately, it didn't go as smoothly as I had imagined. No fish came to touch the 3 baits. There is a serious suspicion that all the fish have moved away. If this goes on, the body won't be able to hold on. Do we have to wait until winter to have a chance for ice fishing? Now, I can only put the fishing line back and continue to starve. Jacob was so hungry that his breathing hurt. The muscles can't even maintain a stable state. There wasn't a single fish under the ice layer. His despair was visible to the naked eye. Jezen crushed the charcoal into powder. These are good for brushing teeth, even if it is accidentally swallowed. It can also neutralize the intensity of stomach acid. It is a must-have item for survival in the wild. Use your finger as a toothbrush and poke into your mouth, although it looks a little disgusting. But the effect is indeed good. The tone is not as intense as before. I feel much more relaxed. Bennett went to the other side to check the fishing net. There's already quite a lot of ice here. It's very difficult to pull it up just by brute force. I haven't checked myself for just a few days. How did it turn out like this? If the fishing net is damaged, it won't be possible to make smooth arrangements after the onset of winter, with Ben's continuous efforts. Finally, I managed to get the fishing net up. What she didn't expect was that there were fish. It's already quite large in size. At least I don't have to worry about fainting from hunger this week. I feel a little better. Jezen didn't think the saw in his hand was good enough. It's not as smooth as it was at the beginning. I plan to replace it with a full new version. There's a feeling that if you're a brother, come and cut me down. This is certainly not just for show. It's particularly comfortable to use for sawing ice cubes. It doesn't require much force at all. It's as smooth as cutting tofu. The program team has finally done a good deed. Bentner began to deal with the fish to eat. First, clean the surface scales thoroughly. She plans to put it in the pot to make soup later. It would be even more delicious if I could pick up some wild vegetables to go with it. Suddenly, an eagle flew over. It would be great if it could stay in my stomach. Try to draw it down. It's a pity that the eagle left without looking back. Bennett didn't think it was a big problem. I saw an eagle fly overhead. This means that good luck is coming to oneself. I still have a chance. It's just that I'm really too hungry. I can't hold back my emotions any longer. Jacob was quite happy to see the sunset. Prove that I have persisted for another day. Looking at my girlfriend's photo, I miss her very much. I have never lost contact for a month. I wonder what she's doing now. I really want to go back and give a hug right now. Looking at him like this, it seems he won't stay for long. Jezen climbed up the tree directly to enjoy the view. Good grief. If this were to fall, it would be buried on the spot. He, however, had an indifferent look on his face, venting one's emotions. Jacob was lying outside, warming himself by the fire and looking at the stars. If I didn't know they were competing, I thought it was for a vacation camping trip. The challenge has already reached 30 days. The contestants still maintain an optimistic state. At present, it's impossible to see who will win the championship. Jacob thinks he's not bad. Be able to keep going? If I could bring a bow and arrow. Those birds have long been turned into grilled bird sets for consumption. Jezen used a saw to get some sawdust out. Mix these into the flour. Theoretically, it will taste more fragrant when baked. Wrap the surface with another layer like this. It looks a bit rough, but after being fried and grilled, it smells very fragrant. It feels a bit hard when you take a bite. Overall, it's not bad. There's just not much flour left. I'm afraid I won't be able to enjoy such delicious food in the future. I'll have to wait until I get home and saw some sawdust to take away. I guarantee that everyone will want more after having it. It's a pity that there are no wheat-based beverages available now. Otherwise, one will live a more comfortable life. Jacob wasn't sure how much weight he had lost either. It can be seen after taking off the clothes, although the abdominal muscles are still there. But overall, it looks too thin. It feels like a strong wind is blowing away people. I had to lose at least 30 pounds to be like this. He felt that he was still wearing too few clothes. There is always wind blowing in. I was freezing myself to death. Ben's stomach was growling with hunger. Hurry up and prepare yourself some quick fish to prolong your life. It would be great if the fishing net could catch a bunch of fish. I don't have to worry about food every day either. I have no idea who called the program team. None of them seem to be leaving. Are you coming for physical examination? Anyway, Jessen was extremely excited. Good grief. I thought he had won the championship. The staff came to Jacob. It turned out that he was going to give up the challenge and go home. Although I can still hold on a little longer. But I miss my girlfriend more and more. Plus, I'm too thin. I'm sure I'll be carried away during the next physical examination. So it's better to force yourself like this. It will be better to give up and go home earlier. With Jacob withdrawing from a challenge. Only Jesse and Ben are left. Who do you all think will win the bonus? Jessen remained in an excited mental state. It looks more like a champion. The challenge has reached its 30th day. Bennett came to the lake to try fishing. It was extremely quiet around. She no longer had the strength to go into the water to set up. For safety reasons, try it right here on the shore. Unfortunately, no fish were interested. There was no choice but to change the strategy to the other side. She felt there must be food to eat in the lake. Hope I can bite the hook earlier. Jessen has lost several circles of weight. I can't even fasten my belt. The fat on the body has almost been exhausted. Only a few muscles are left hanging on it. Can we hold on until the end like this? Ben has no motivation to cut down and collect firewood now. Every time I hit it, I felt a piece of flesh fall off. My mental state is getting worse and worse. I'm not as positive and optimistic as before at all. Jesse is just setting up the framework here. He was a little regretful about coming up with this thing. It would be better to just stay in the shelter. I plan to put antlers on it for decoration. Actually, it's quite nice inside. There's no need to switch to anything else at all. It was just a moment of indecision. Jesse still decided to take it apart. If there are no unexpected circumstances, an unexpected event is coming. The situation was quite bad. He kissed that tree hard with his head. Now I'm feeling dizzy and very uncomfortable. One of the teeth inside is loose and has fallen out. We can only call a doctor over for a checkup. Jessen's condition is getting worse and worse. When the staff arrived, they were already in a daze. We can still communicate with difficulty. After a simple inspection of it, it should be a bit of a concussion. The doctor gave him a test. It is certain that the challenge cannot continue. My body was already rather weak. Such a fall directly declared the end. What a pity. If no unexpected incidents occur, Jessen really has a good chance of winning the bonus. If there are still fish pieces in the camp, just lying down and eating meat could last another week. End the challenge in this way. No matter who encounters it, they are unwilling to accept it. It is a great pity that Jessen was forcibly sent to the hospital for treatment. If there is another chance to take part in the challenge in the future, hope he can come back again. Bennett had no idea about this. Just go on living at your own pace. The challenge has reached the 32nd day. Bent is in a good mental state. There's a shortage of food. Now all we need to do is wait for the program team to come. Then she will be able to take the bonus and go home. What no one expected was, Bennett caught another big fish. Hurry up and put in the cage for preservation. Now, there's no need to worry about fainting from hunger. She has no idea what's going on either. As soon as the fishing rod was put down, a fish took the bait. Just when she was in a good mood. Fortunately, the reaction was quick enough. Otherwise, the fish would have slipped away. Today's harvest was quite rich. The pike bit the hook as if it were risking its life. Bennett felt that he could stay for more than half a month. The challenge has reached the 33rd day. The production team pretended to come over for a physical examination. The wound didn't recover very well. It needs to be sent to the hospital for cleaning later. Bennett didn't think it was a big problem. How could this be sending oneself away? I didn't realize that she was the champion. Keep telling the director how strong you are. The challenge cannot be forcibly ended like this. Just when I was about to break down, I suddenly found my husband right there. Only then did I realize that I was the champion. The two haven't seen each other for too long. There's so many words I want to say, but in the end, it was just a hug there. Ben has been suppressed for so long. Finally, I can vent my emotions properly. If Jessen hadn't been injured, they will stay here for a longer time. What do you all think of the value of bench championship? I wonder who else will come and take on the challenge. Let's wait and see together.